Yeah. Swooping in just like a hawk, translating on a pick in the park. Yeah, swooping in just like a hawk, translating on a peak in the park. And one baby that's far from a flop. Stay from Marina, we blow up the top. DeAndre 12, he just like a cop. Lockdown D, get it still in the block. V got that vision, he passing the rock. Trade up from 30 with 12 on the clock. I hope your best player got really good handles, why? Cause he might get swiped by Daniel's eye. Told him don't leave, both get open wide. Cause he jump away like an ocean, yeah. Chillin' on the fat break, scaring them. But you can't leave open garrison. Just like a hawk, translating on a peak in the park. And one baby that's far from a flop. Stay from Marina, we blow up the top. DeAndre 12, he just like a cop. Lockdown D, get it still in the block. Swooping in just like a hawk, translating on a peak in the park. Swooping in just like a hawk, translating on a peak in the park. Yeah. Swooping in just like a hawk, translating on a pick in the park. Yeah, swooping in just like a hawk, translating on a peak in the park. And one baby that's far from a flop. Stay from Marina, we blow up the top. DeAndre 12, he just like a cop. Lockdown D, get it still in the block. V got that vision, he passing the rock. Trade up from 30 with 12 on the clock. I hope your best player got really good handles, why? Cause he might get swiped by Daniel's eye. Told him don't leave, both get open wide. Cause he jump away like an ocean, yeah. Chillin' on the fat break, scaring them. But you can't leave open garrison. Just like a hawk, translating on a peak in the park. And one baby that's far from a flop. Stay from Marina, we blow up the top. DeAndre 12, he just like a cop. Lockdown D, get it still in the block. Swooping in just like a hawk, translating on a peak in the park. Swooping in just like a hawk, translating on a peak in the park. Yo, what's good, family? It's your dog in the building, Damon. We Talk Hawks TV. All things Hawks. New episode. All things Hawks, baby. Since the season is over with, I mean, all things Hawks, new thing I came up with. We're going to cover everything Atlanta Hawks, right? Let's get on this article, man. Let's get on this article. Okay? I haven't read the article yet. I haven't read it yet. Okay? But I'm about to read it right now. Okay? I want y'all to read along with me. Let's keep it funky. Okay? Y'all see I got my little dog right here. That's Kobe right here. Say what up, Kobe. Say what's up, Kobe. All right. So let's read this article, man. Cause I seen the fan base on Twitter, some cats going crazy. Let's talk. Let me see what we got here. This article came out the 22nd, which was yesterday, by John Hollinger, right? How you get out of NBA playing purgatory? Most difficult task, blah, blah, blah. The Atlanta Hawks kind of win now, kind of playing for the future. He said we was kind of win now, kind of playing for the future season. 24-25 is a great illustration of tensions resulting in a fourth straight trip to the play-in and an average of 40 wins in that time. The dynamic with Atlanta and his best player, Trae Young, echoes the same conundrum, which I'll get into in a minute. First, do y'all see that right there? So over the last Since Landry Fields had been here, since Quint, we averaging 40 wins, and y'all wanted to keep these dudes in charge. And people, you see, it's championship coaches getting fired, and y'all wanted to like bring Landry Fields back. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. First, the news. In a bizarre release to the media that led by name of the search firm they be using for a president of basketball operations, and then, by the way, mentioned that they fired the general manager on Monday, that they parted way with Landry Fields and will be looking for new leadership. Onsi Sela will take over the front office GM for now. For now. But the Hawks will hire a new leader above him. By the way, Fields conducted all the team's exit interviews and met with the media the day after the season ended before being shown the door. Great process, everyone. So there you go right there. Onsi Sela will take over the front office as GM for now. Just like I told y'all. For now. So all these people who trying to tell y'all, yeah, this dude, they didn't put interim in front of his name, and that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Because what do we know, family? If you are coming here to be the president of the Hawks, okay, you don't want to come to an already made front office. You want to bring your own people you trust, people you know, people you familiar with. Why would you want to, if you're a president, if you're an NBA executive with any type of cachet, why would you come here and they already gave you a general manager? What I expect to happen, listen to Unc here, because let me tell you something. I know, I've told y'all everything that's going on. I told you it was going to happen at the beginning of the year. I told you. This is what Unc is thinking. Depending on who the president is, if it's somebody with some cachet, right, with a good resume, with an NBA championship on their resume, I don't think Onsi is going to stay in that GM position. But if you do get a president, but he's not, maybe his second, maybe he was assistant somewhere else, so he ain't got really nothing going on, then he might just keep Onsi. But if you get somebody that's already familiar with or who has worked with Onsi, then guess what? You might keep him. Feel me? Let's continue, because I ain't gonna be here all day. I ain't gonna be here for long, guys. All right. Let's see where we at. Oh, Fields took over in January 2023 when then President Travis Sling stepped down. But this is a hazy timeline. Fields had significant pull dating back to the offseason of 2022 and the decision to trade multiple picks to the Spurs for DeJounte Murray. A move that was made over Slink's objections. Do I need to read that to y'all again? How many times have I been up here going back and forth with fans telling them Landry Fields been making moves since 2020? I've been told y'all that. I've already told y'all this. Why are we shocked? I'm only loud, okay? Because do you know how much time I spent up here going back and forth with Atlanta Hawk fans? They trying to tell me, oh, Landry he been making moves. I told y'all this. It's nothing bro, I've told y'all all this. I told you Landry Fields was tied in with the Murray move. I told y'all that. He was tied in. He tied his career with Nick Ressler. That's the only reason he got the position. He didn't get the position. Why you think the other day I called him a DEI hire? He didn't get the position off of merit. He got it because of Nick Ressler. I told y'all this. But for some, y'all don't want to believe. Y'all don't want to believe Demondo. Y'all don't want to believe Demondo. Okay. Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. That was the biggest whiff in the team's transaction cycle over the last 3 years. But organization paralysis that followed came in a close second. Following the Murray trade, the Hawks only made 2 meaningful transactions for nearly 2 years. And y'all telling me y'all thought this team was trying to compete for something? I told y'all them niggas won't trying to win. I told y'all this. But here y'all go. We finna win all these games. I told y'all we won't go do nothing. I know the Hawks. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't think nobody know the Hawks more than I do. I may not be up on my draft shit, on my scouting shit like I used to do decades ago when I used to be like Matt, Leon, and all the young dudes. I used to pull up all these numbers. I used to do all that shit. And then I gave up. I said, I'm not doing that shit no more. 2 transactions in 2 years, and y'all thought we was trying to win something? Come on, man. I told y'all all this already. Let's see. Following the Murray trade, blah, 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 blah. Trade of 5 second-round picks for Sadiq Bey, who's no longer here, and the trade of John Collins for Rudy Gay's expiring contract and a lightly chewed candy bar. You hear that? You hear that? If you ever came at me supporting Landry Field, you can't tell me shit now. You got rid of John Collins for absolutely nothing, and some of y'all Hawk fans was out there celebrating like we was making moves. Where are all my addition by subtraction dudes? Where y'all at? Where are y'all at? Because you know what I'm gonna mess around and be petty. And I'm gonna go on Twitter and I'm gonna pull up all that addition by subtraction. All y'all who was laughing at me when I put when I put the picture of myself with John Collins and I said he's still here. Then we got traded the next day. Here y'all go laughing and shit. Y'all ain't laughing no more, are you? You're not laughing no more, are you? Now you're in desperation mode. I told y'all, but y'all don't want to listen to me. Y'all think y'all know all this fucking basketball. We don't need John Collins. The analytics say, woo, 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 woo. I told y'all. I'm going to start clipping these shows, bro, because I've been 100% correct about these dudes. I told y'all. We don't need JC. And look what they doing. They going to turn a Kawhi to JC. Why you think they got him shooting a 3? He ain't finna be your starting 5. Let's continue. Now, granted, this is my first time reading the article. Okay, let's see here. The transaction cycle in the 18 months since then has been more active and includes a mix of hits and misses. Not altogether indistinguishable from that of many other franchises. The Hawks can lament that they drafted AJ Griffin and Kobe Buffkin and started Torrey Eason and Brandon Ski. But that's an easy game to play in hindsight. They might have found something in 2023 second round of Mohamed Gay, and the extensions for Murray and Jalen Johnson and Onyeka Okongwu and Bogey were in line with market perceptions. I think we can agree on that. Okay, let's talk AJ Griffin real quick. Let's talk AJ Griffin. He ran to be with the Lord. You can't even hate on that. I can't hate on that. That man chose his faith over basketball. Can't hate on that. You drafted AJ Griffin what? 16th? 17th? Did you really think when you draft somebody right there, if they just a rotational player, you happy? Okay. AJ Griffin under Nate McMillan was amazing. Under Quinn Snyder, not so amazing. Okay. You can say whatever. You could talk about Beyonce, but hey, AJ Griffin, I ain't mad at Landry for that. He was a beast in high school, injuries, and then his faith just took over. Okay. Kobe Buffkin, jury's still out on this guy. He ain't healthy. Speaking of Kobe Buffkin, if I'm Tony Wrestler, I'm looking at my injury guys. Cause why did you go hire the doctor from the 49ers when he was awful over there in San Francisco with the Niners? He was awful. But somebody said, you know what? Let's bring him to Atlanta. Now look, Kobe Buffkin, 2 seasons. He hasn't even played 20 NBA games yet. Somebody should have told his ass the first day that shoulder went out, get the surgery so we could be done with the shit. But nah, somebody told the dude, just let it heal on its own naturally. Soon as it come back, his ass get hurt. He didn't even make it to Summer League before he got hurt. Then he gets the surgery. Come on, man. Let's continue. Shout out. I give Landry credit for the Muhammad Gay hit, the extension from Murray, Jalen Johnson, Conwu. I give him credit for that. He did good on that. The book remains open on Zachary Richardson. He had a slow start, encouraging March 2 abysmal playing games, but the answer on game-changing plays in the draft may be none of the above. You wondered if the Hawks might have turned their attention more sharply toward Donovan Clingan if they knew how little Clint Capella had left in the tank, but maybe not. After all, the whole idea of drafting for fit after winning a lottery seems faintly ridiculous since that player is presumably a long-term centerpiece. Man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Our front office, since Landry Fields and Nick Ressler took over, has been the laughing stock of the NBA. The laughing stock of the NBA. The laughing stock. The Athletic is fake. They ain't fake. John Hollinger ain't fake. Huh. Okay. Chris Kirschner ain't fake. Y'all better get in tune. Y'all better get in tune. The Hawks, let's see. The Hawks at least recoup much of their Murray investment with the Pelicans. Got it, Dyson Daniel, 2 first-round pick. The top line on Phil's resume. Cashed out DeAndre Hunter career by getting 2 swaps in 3 seconds from the Cavs. On the other hand, a bizarre deal with the Clippers had them pay out draft picks to move Bogey and saddle themselves with Terrence Mann 3-year, $47 million extension. So, Kool-Aid, listen, T-Man finna be here for a hot second. Unless he get traded. T-Man finna be here. All right, let's continue. If it never totally felt like the Hawks were coming or going the last few years, perhaps there's a reason. Though Fields was theoretically in charge, the number of competing organizational voices was, I don't even know, what is this word? Cacophonious? Cacophonious? Did I say that right? This right here, man. This right here. This is what happens right here when you don't have one person in charge. That's what happens. And you know why you gotta work like that? Because your general manager and president didn't have no experience. No experience. So he needed all these dudes to come in here and help. I told y'all that. When you went and got the dude from the Spurs, I was like, I told y'all, if you're a good GM, you don't need help. Okay? When they bought Ansi from the Warriors, if you know what you're doing, you don't need help. The big thing that made it stood out, you know what that was? Landry Fields didn't bring them on. The owner did. Tony Ressler bought those 2 dudes over here. That should have told you right there, your owner had no faith in this dude. Why he didn't fire him back then, I have no idea. He never should have been hired. We done wasted 3 years fucking with Landry Fields and Tony Ressler and Nick Ressler. All you season ticket holders, y'all, they've been playing with your money and your time. They've been playing with your money and your time, putting dudes who don't know what they doing in charge. Zero experience at the NBA level as an executive. And people still trying to vouch for this dude. Insane. It's insanity. Y'all know goodness well you wouldn't hire nobody, you wouldn't put nobody in charge with zero experience to run a $1 billion organization. Crazy work. Crazy. But let's continue. Somebody want to, here, I'll drop the link. Because I ain't finna be here for long, for real. So I'll drop the link. Let's go. Let's continue. Per league sources, Tony Russell's son Nick had significant input, and while his day-to-day involvement appeared to lessen this season, I'm told he's still in the room on any important decisions. Coach Quinn Snyder, lured from Costa Rica, a Costa Rican beach vacation to take over early 2023, still has significant say and the salary to prove it. I told y'all, you don't pay a coach $8 million to fucking develop. What else did I say? Go back. I told Matt, I told everybody in that chat on X. I said this. Coaches talk. And some of y'all wasn't even tracking. You really think Quinn Snyder took this gig and didn't talk to Nate McMillan? You got to be insane. It's a reason why it's called a coaching fraternity. And what did I say? I said, if Quinn was smart, he would get some type of pull in the organization. He would get some type of executive power. I told y'all this. No, DeMond, no, you don't know what you're talking about. I know the fucking Hawks, bro. I know this organization. I don't care who in charge. I know this organization. And I've been dead on since the beginning of the season. Dead on. But let's continue. Hold up. Why you going to have Nick Ressler? Listen to this. Why is Nick Ressler in the room on important decisions and he don't know basketball? He know real estate. Now, if he in there as a representation of his father, and then he just going to relay information back to his father, that makes sense. But why would you have, and that's why I cannot fathom how a billionaire, I cannot get it out my head. To become a billionaire, you don't do stupid stuff like this. But you know what that showed me? It showed me that Tony Ressler really don't take winning seriously. He don't take being an owner of the Hawks seriously. I mean, I'm not hating on that part because most owners, sports franchises, is a hobby for them. It's a status symbol for them. Unless you are a family-owned team like the Buss family with the Lakers, the Steelers, the Moore family with the Giants. I told y'all. I've been telling y'all all this, bro. Let me continue. I know the fucking Hawks, bro. I'm good. Coach Quinn Snyder, blah, 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 blah. The front office has other voices such as Saylor, Kyle Korver, former GM Chris Grant. This the one who came from San Antonio / Cleveland. This the dude, Chris Grant, this guy right here, Chris Grant. This the guy who wrote the stuff about Luol Deng that Danny Ferry ended up repeating in an ownership meeting, and then one of the dumbass owners reported his ass. This dude right here, Chris Grant, he actually wrote the shit. An agent turned advisor, why he here? I hope the agent turned advisor, Chris Emmons, I hope this dude he got to have connection with agents and with sports agencies. Because besides that, I don't know why the fuck he up in here. Ressler also sometimes venture outside of his office for advice, including leaning on minority owner Grant Hill. What is the listen? Grant Hill has done absolutely nothing as a minority owner of the Hawks. He's done absolutely nothing as a minority owner. I don't even know why people bring this dude name up. Nothing wrong with him being a minority owner. But people, Hawks fans, don't bring his name up to me when we talking about having. He don't do nothing. What does he do? He didn't even campaign to get Trey on the Olympic team. Man, people cannot tell. Nobody can tell me about the Hawks. Let me continue. Most plugged-in people think Russell's first choice to fill the job would be Hill. That he would already had a job. He'd rather run USA basketball and call NCAA tournament games to be stuck in this quicksand. Bro, what have I been telling y'all? What president with cachet gonna come to the Hawks and you already got shit established? This is what I be trying to explain to y'all. That's why you end up with mid-level, lower-level guys. You can't have a GM in place and think you're going to get somebody like a Bob Myers. And I'm just using him as an example. Because if I'm a president, if I'm an executive and my cachet got 4 rings, 2 rings, 1 ring, nobody in that whole organization can tell me anything. If we talk about cachet, and I'm bringing my people. I don't want your people. Your people don't win. The people you got here don't work, don't win. How I know that? Look at your record the past 4 years. Let's move on. Boy, I'm telling you, man. Instead, the Hawks are using a search firm. One that will be threading a difficult needle, finding someone with enough gravitas to install as a team president, yet willing to take on what promises to be a very challenging job. It's Bob Myers, Masai, Connolly taking this gig? Probably not. Even if Russell opened up his checkbook right into the Grand Canyon. But is a retread or relatively unproven exec a rung lower, Elton Brand, sellable as a team president? Let me talk about this real quick, gang. If you Tony Wrestler, and you serious about winning, do you know what you do? You go to Bob Myers, you open up the checkbook, and you know what you tell him? Do what the fuck you have to do. You got 5 years. That's all you got to do, Mr. Wrestler. You don't have to do nothing else. You don't have to make no decisions. You don't have to make no day-to-day decisions. None of that. Okay? You don't need a sports agency. You know what you need? Go get a guy with experience in winning. I sit up here every game, post game. I sit up here and I tell y'all, the one thing you missing in this organization is winners. Who is a winner in this organization? On the court, off the court, where the winners at? You can't lead me to a championship if you ain't been there. All this fucking mumbo jumbo shit some of y'all be talking about. Listen, when it comes to motherfucking leadership, okay, you can't, like I said, you can't lead me if you ain't been there. Why would I follow you? Why would I look at your blueprint when at the last location, you failed? You didn't win shit. Let me continue. Tony Wrestler, go. Hey, whatever. I can't even remember his name because I'm so hot right now. Go to Bob Myers. Tell him he got 5 years. Give him a fucking blank check. You tell him, you do what you have to do to make my organization a winner. That's what you do. Y'all done played all these games. I told y'all, I keep telling y'all, the Hawks, no matter who the owner is, continue to do the same stuff that never works with us. It never works. Let's build through the draft. We tried that. And every time somebody bring that shit up, you know what I tell them? Go back to start in the year 2000, and you tell me when that shit worked. How many times have we reset, rebuild, reload, retool in the last 25 years? And the only thing you got in the last 25 years, you got 2 All-NBA players, Trey Millsap. You got 2 trips to the conference final. 2 trips to the conference final in 25 years? We the only fan base who accept that shit. Us and the Kings. Because even the damn lowly Clippers been to the conference finals. With that, come on, man. Let me continue. The challenge goes beyond managing internal voices or the fact that the Hawks already have a coach and GM under contract for their incoming president. That's why shit be fucked up. That's why shit be fucked up. Listen to me, Tony Wrestler. When you get back, go get Bob Myers. Once again, if he want to get rid of fucking Quinn, get him the fuck out of here. Okay? If he want him, he probably gonna keep Salah because he knows Salah. Salah, however you want to say his name. He know him. He might just keep him. But ain't no president with no fucking cachet gonna fall in on an already made family. He ain't like he a fucking listen, ain't nobody trying to come. It's like feel like a goddamn stepdaddy. Already made motherfucking family right here. Oh, we got you a GM, we got you a coach. If I'm Bob Myers, I'd be like, that's cool. Tell them leave their key card at the desk. I don't need their services. I'll be interviewing my own people. Okay, let's keep going so I can get up, so I can get the homies up here. I can't remember where the hell I was at. Right here. Oh my God. That challenge goes beyond managing internal voices or the fact that the Hawks already have a coach GM. Woo, woo, woo. The Hawks just went 40-42. Don't project to have salary cap room and first round picks to the Spurs and a swap and a 27 unprotected. That means tanking is off the table for at least 2 more years. Yet it's not like the Hawks are set up for win now glory either. You know, listen, I told y'all this already, but I'm going to tell you again, and I know I'm beating a dead horse. The only way the Hawks will be competitive, the only way the Hawks win 50 games, be a top team in the East, you're going to have to do it through free agency and trades. That's it. If you want to win, Hawks fans, you're going to have to give up some of these young dudes. I'm going to just keep it a G with you. Unless you want to sit here this year, next year, year after that, when at 40, 42, 44, playoff, play-in, knocked out, we back in the same shit again, regular Hawks basketball. That's your only options. You don't have no other options. Okay? That's why I keep telling y'all that Murray move, the worst move in Atlanta Hawk history. Nobody can tell me no different. This shit still going to affect the 2 years from now. This takes us to the most important decision facing the new boss. Trey has 1 year left on his deal. He could become a free agent with a player option. He's a valuable player, led the league in assists. Atlanta offense turned to dust when he's off the floor. Listen, but he's not a top 15 player in the league. So is he good enough to be the centerpiece of a contender team, or is he just the kind of player who offers a floor of 36 wins, ceiling 42? Young seemed to lose a step this season, which struggling to beat defenders. Perhaps that could be blamed on the Achilles. He's 6'1", speed dependent, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Is that worth going out multiple years on a max extension, or is it time to cut bait, recoup some value, and build around the other guys in Atlanta? Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell you this right now. You cannot trade Trae Young right now. Why, Damon? Because the return that you get, it's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it. It's not. You think people don't want to come here now? Y'all be like, nobody want to play with you. Who the fuck want to play with Zachary Richardson? Who the fuck want to play with Mo Gay? Who want to play with a Conwu? I don't see people knocking at the door to come play with these guys because these gonna be your main players. These gonna be your main players. You can only get better through free agency and trades. Okay, if you trade Trae Young, who the fuck is you gonna get? I don't think a team is gonna give you a star level player in return. And I don't care how much you hate Trae Young. I don't care how much you despise him or don't like him. We looking at business now. We talking business. Okay. We talking business. You have nothing to offer free agents to come here. Like I'm on the get Giannis train. Okay. I'm on the get Giannis train. But guess what? Giannis not coming here. He ain't coming here to play with Zachary Richardson. Dyson, he not coming to play with those guys. He can stay. He can stay in Detroit. I mean, he can stay in Milwaukee to play with the level of talent that we got. We have no the talent level between Trae Young and the rest of these dudes is ridiculous. It's such a drop off. It's crazy, considering he been here 7 years and you ain't got shit beside him. If you had control of your picks, right? Let me tell you what DeMond would have did. If I didn't have Murray, but I had control of my picks, let me tell you something. I would have tanked this year. I would have tanked it. But once again, because of that Murray move, you take that off the table. As an owner, I'm not trading Trae Young right now. It don't make sense to me business-wise. You was already 30th in attendance this year. You 30th. With Trae. Nobody gonna pay to come see Mo Gay, Richardson, a Conwu. That don't excite nobody. And the rest of the dudes you got on roster. Nobody want to see T-Man. Nobody want to see Dyson Daniels with that ugly, the way that ugly shit he be. Nobody want to see that. Nobody want to pay for that. Let me continue. Okay. I read that already. Is that worth going out on multiple years on a max extension, or is it time to cut bait? Okay, chatter has picked up that the Hawks might choose the latter course. However, it takes two to tango. The confounding issue in Young's scenario is that the market for him doesn't seem to be hot. Exactly what I just said. Indeed, and perhaps explain why it was Murray and not Young who was sent to the Pelicans in the 2024 offseason. If the Hawks were hoping for Mikal Bridges or Rudy Gobert return for Trae, it's probably not happening. It might be more in Brandon Ingram territory. Are they at that point where are they at that point where they are okay with that? We right here, family. I'm not trading Trae Young for a goddamn Brandon Ingram package. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. That sets you back even further. It sets you back even further. This is what I would do if I'm the GM. I'm going out here and I'm finding whoever is available, top level talent to put on this team, whether they starters or role players. Because what you need to do, and what I always tell people, when you're the GM, you need to be thinking 1 and 2 years ahead. I'm already thinking 1-2 years ahead. See, y'all thinking right now. I'm not like y'all. I think different. Okay, this is what I'm thinking, what I would do. I would build this team up as much as I could. Why, DeMond? Because that way, if you decide to move on from Trae, his stock is up, his value's up. Plus, you got to deal with the teams navigating the first and second aprons of the luxury tax. And it's easier to trade Trae Young when you have him signed to a long-term extension. He's not going to get the Supermax because he probably not going to make all NBA at this point. But paying Trae Young $50 million a year, I mean, that don't hurt the Hawks. $50 million for Trae don't hurt the Hawks. Because who else you gonna fucking pay? Who you paying? Jalen getting 30, okay? I mean, and he doesn't even have, he has 0 accolades. He getting 30. You got your starter was a rookie. Okongwu already locked in at 16. Mo Gay still on a 4-year rookie deal. He making like $1 million. And your bench, so 50 million ain't gonna hurt you. What you need to do is, once again, think 2 years ahead. I get him an extension. I get this team good. If it ain't where I want it to be, at least I got his value up. And then whoever trades for Trey or wants Trey, guess what? It's easier to move him. It's easier to move him. You know? And then you got Dyson Daniels. But I mean, he not getting $30 million a year. I thought he was. I changed my mind on that. He ain't getting no motherfucking $30 million. Hell the fuck no. Nah. He ain't getting it. The more tantalizing possibility might be a player-for-player exchange. Young for Melo, Young for Morant. Why the fuck would we want Melo or Ja Morant? Why would you do that? That's a lateral fucking move. Melo not winning in Charlotte. And Ja Morant, his team better when he not there. That's crazy. Why would we do that? Hell no, I wouldn't do that. Young is by far Atlanta's biggest issue, but he's not the only one. Snyder is still under contract and oversaw young players Johnson, Daniels, Richardson, Okongwu, and Gay making progress. Snyder has also gotten Young to try on defense. However, Snyder might be in an interest in pursuing other openings, especially if the job becomes available. Y'all see that right there? And you know what I'm thinking right now? I'm praying to God that Spurs job becomes available so he can get up out of here. And whoever the president is can come in and hire his own coach and set his own fucking standards. And don't have to adjust to the fucking coach. Because the coach, Quinn Snyder, all y'all Quinn loyalists, you ain't got shit. You can't tell me shit. What I tell y'all, day one, he a playoff loser. He a regular season front runner. And then you know what y'all tell me? But Damon, he had a better roster. One day he had the better roster in Utah. Next day he didn't have a better roster. He don't win when it matters. No matter who the fuck he got, no matter what seed he is, no matter what his defense rank, no matter what his offense rank. But let's just talk about his ass in Atlanta. Your defense has gotten fucking worse since he's been here. Point blank, period. And I don't want to hear shit about Nate McMillan. Because I'm a fan. I'm a results-based fan. I don't give a fuck about the numbers. I don't give a fuck about the play style. Did we win the game? That's all I care about. And you're not winning with Quinn. Point blank, period. You lose a game, and his response, you got to shoot 43s. You got to shoot 43s. We don't shoot the three-pointer good, dummy. Go back to what works. Here's the problem. These people come here with this analytic bullshit trying to reinvent the fucking wheel. Look at the teams that's winning. Do what the winning teams do. So with Trae Young, when did you have your most success? Under Nate. You need to find out why you had that success. Why did that team, when he took over, using somebody else's offense, because you know all the motherfucking Nate McMillan haters, that's their first thing. He didn't use his own. I don't give a fuck who shit he used. Okay? Did you win the game or no? What your record say? Did you win in the playoffs? Because what I notice about people who talk about Quinn and when you talk about Quinn, they don't talk about fucking winning. You know what else? When they talk about Nate, they don't talk about fucking winning. You look at what fucking works and you adjust it to your team. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Everybody know pro sports is copycats. That's all it is. Niggas wasn't shooting threes like that till you saw Steph Curry shoot the shit. Then everybody try to shoot like the Warriors. Guess what? When you get the right guys who can do it, it worked. Ask the fucking Celtics. They wasn't shooting all them threes before Curry. With KG and Paul Pierce, they wasn't shooting all those threes. Guess what they did? You saw what the Warriors was doing? Everybody copied that. Why you think Quinn Snyder coming here talking about shoot 40 fucking threes? It's a copycat league. You just have to try to get the personnel that can do what's working at the NBA level. You can't tell, listen, y'all can't tell me shit. I'm going to keep it a buck. Can't nobody tell me shit. Let me keep going because I'm on my high horse today. Daniels will be up for an extension, lead the league in steals. Blah, 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 blah. The Hawks will need another center after Capella from aging gracefully to just aging. But they only have their non-taxpayer mid-level exception available for free agency. The Hawks still have $25 million trade exception from the Murray deal. Other questions loom deep on the roster. Can Richardson be more of an offensive threat? Can Buffkin become a reliable rotation guard? If not, they need to find a backup point guard. Are free agents Larry Nance and LeVert worth bringing back? Finally, the new boss will have to study quickly for the June draft. We're picking 13th and 22nd as of now. The 13th pick could vanish if the Kings move up or be pushed down to the 14th. In the disaster scenario where the pick the Hawks gave to San Antonio, the Murray deal lands in the top 4. With just $40 million in float below the luxury tax, which the team has not exceeded under Russell. That's a fucking decade, bro. And a chunk of it likely earmarked for a center, tough choices will need to be made. Overall, you can see why another season or 7 in the NBA's middle seems almost unavoidable for the Hawks. It would be up to the next boss to somehow move them up a few notches in the Eastern Conference hierarchy, but in many ways, this job is more challenging than taking over an awful team. John Hollinger, this is his article. 20 years of NBA experience, 7 years as the Memphis Grizzlies vice president of basketball operations. So don't even try to come and tell me this nigga who wrote this article is on some bullshit. Don't even try to come up here. I don't want to hear shit about that article. So that dude got 20 years in the fucking NBA, 7 years in the front office. Listen, he know people around the league. But if you've been listening to your boy, I done told you all this shit already. I told you. Landry Fields and Quinn Snyder wasn't on the same sheet of music. I don't know how many times I said that throughout the season. I told you. Why would you draft a 19-year-old and put him on minutes restriction? And y'all came up with every fucking excuse y'all could think of. He just played in the Euro Cup. He just played this month. Man, he's 19, bro. I was 19 many moons ago. And guess what? I play basketball all the fucking time, all year round, nigga. More than one game a day. I told you why they had him on the minutes restriction. Because Quinn Snyder was not brought here to fucking develop talent. He was brought here because he thought the team was going to get better. Meaning the front office was going to address issues and get better players, better talent. They didn't do it. They didn't. And what he probably should have did, like I told Matt, what he should have did, what Landry Fields should have did, because he knew, and I said this shit yesterday, Landry knew his job was on the line. He already knew it. He already knew it. Before the season even started, he knew that shit. All you got to do is start putting 2 and 2 together. It's going to get you 4. He knew that. So all y'all up here like, man, why they make him do the prep? Man, fuck him. Set our ass back. Can't believe Tony Russell listened to his fucking son hired a motherfucker with 0 experience. And Tony Russell, you need to stop making deals because you fucked us too, giving JC the $25 million. That's the only reason some of the fan base didn't like JC. If you gave JC 15, 16 million, like a Conwoo, no one would give a fuck. But you gave him $25 million because you liked him as a homie, I guess. And what that did, listen, we fans equate money, which we probably shouldn't do, but we do it anyway. We equate money with position. So when you give him 25 and you make him the second highest player on the team in the league, fans gonna expect him to put in the number 2 option stats, even though he was like 4th in usage. But that's not how fans see it. But you dropped that ball. You dropped the ball when Travis Sling had a deal to get him up out of here and get something decent in return. Instead, you got nothing. Where's Rudy? Rudy? Where he at? And guess what? For all y'all, don't even mention that fucking trade exception. Don't even mention it, okay? Because before you mention that, you need to come and tell me and show me the last organization that used a $25 million trade exception. You got that last trade exception you had from the JC move. They only used, off the top of my head, like $4 million, and that was to facilitate when we got, I forgot the dude's name we got from Houston, Boo Boo or something. That was just to facilitate to bring them in, and all we did was move them out. I think we moved them to OKC or something. But teams don't use a $25 million trade exception like that, guys. Let me bring on everybody, man. Y'all, bro, I'll tell you, man, I know this organization, man. I know it. I've been following the organization too long. And all you got to do is start putting 2 and 2 together, man. You're going to see the shit going right in your face. You're going to see it. Just like I told y'all. I don't know why y'all keep trying to move Trae Young. The owner not going to do it. Because the owner priority, he about to open up the container your yard shit. You think somebody going to come out there and their money to see real estate? To see no game? Like, y'all gotta start thinking, bro, for y'all say some of this shit. Don't get me wrong.
No, they come to see Kobe.
Don't get me wrong. If there's a deal out there that can be done that benefits the Hawks, you take it. It's not gonna be one, not right now. So what you need to be doing is building up the team the best you can this offseason and pray to God that Jalen Johnson don't get hurt. Pray to God that Zachary Richardson can give you 15 a night.
What about Kobe?
Man, listen.
Kobe who?
No, you know what? You know what? What's really concerning right now is Trae Young's Achilles.
Listen,
that's what's really concerning right now.
That man,
because John, when you start
out there, let me tell you something, John. People can shit on Trae. How many games he missed this year?
Shoot, he missed that many.
I don't think he missed 10 games.
I don't think he missed that many games.
You got a perennial future Hall of Famer out there with a G Leaguer, a rookie from not even American rookie, a rookie from France, Dyson, who's still learning the fundamentals. You got that man out there, and that man didn't miss no games. I mean, he missed a couple, but y'all know what I'm saying.
No, it wasn't like he was a Hunter or Bogdanovich. But what I'm saying is this: when you start having Achilles issues, and they're saying that he's always nursing an Achilles, and that's what you see on the quote unquote injury report all the time. You remember what happened to Klay Thompson? You remember what happened to Kevin Durant with those doggone Achilles? See, and as soon as he pops one, his trade value or switching value is going into the tank. It's over with.
This is the thing.
It's over with.
This is the thing. And this is what good leaders do. If I'm the GM, if they hire me as a GM, the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to talk to Trae Young. And we're going to have a real heart-to-heart. It ain't even. It's not. It ain't even about fucking playing no defense. Okay, we're gonna have a heart to heart because I'm gonna ask him this question right here. Do you mean it when you say you want to build in Atlanta? Do you mean that? Because this is what I'm gonna tell you. Stuff like that goes a long way when building a culture. Because that man done sat right here through 7 years of bullshit. Because he better than me. Because y'all fans, y'all ain't gotta say trade DeMond. Because nigga, I'd have been I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'd have been asking for a trade about 2 years ago. I ain't gonna lie. You know why? Because I could see that this organization not going nowhere. I could see that my GM don't know what the fuck he doing. I could see my owner not spending no money. You saw the article, a decade of no tax. And people want us to win on the budget. People really be mad at Trae Young because he ain't winning on a fucking budget. Nigga, this ain't Ross. This ain't TJ fucking Maxx. You want that man to win on a budget when you looking at the dudes who really winning, they don't have a budget. And that's why you got the first and second apron because of the Warriors, because of the Celtics, because they don't care about spend. They don't care about the luxury tax. They luxury tax bill is more than our roster. And people be like, Trae can't win. Or what Gerald be saying, he ain't got no help.
Well, and
I'm gonna be quiet, though. I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna shut my mouth.
Well, let me say this. And I'll, say something.
We got about another. We'll go another 45 minutes so everybody can get their thoughts out.
There was an article at the beginning of this stuff, and there was a show that we held when this stuff jumped off. Nick Rustler has done more to screw this team up than anybody could ever imagine, because of the fact that he has orders from Dad. In my opinion, yeah, you can be president, you can be chief advisor, you can be whatever it is that you want to be, but don't spend my money. Ball on a budget, son. Man, because he has, man, look, I'm looking at an article that was posted back in 2023.
John, I'd rather him spend that money than gave away those picks unprotected.
But see, thing is, look at who you trying to task with doing that. Exactly. Somebody that don't know nothing. I told, man, these people, this is worse than the Spirit Group. These people are worse than the Atlanta Spirit Group.
I think Landry was knowledgeable. He just didn't nobody fuck with him.
But Leon, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I said
knowledgeable about what?
The main thing, that comes with experience in any field. The main thing that comes with any and I know White Mike can vouch for me. Watch this, John. Watch this. The main thing that comes from years and years of experience in a field is your network and your connections. Because guess what? Let me give you a prime example of network and connections. We get Bud to leave San Antonio to come here. Guess what the fuck he did? Remember we took on Tiago Splitter so they could get what's my guy from Portland? LaMarcus Aldridge. And we took Tiago Splitter for no damn reason. We ain't get shit. That's network and connections. You also gotta have network and connections with who? With the agents. You got to have those Landry. That's why I said I don't understand why you would hire a guy to run $1 billion franchise with he had zero
nepotism. That's all it was. And see, and the thing is too. Dog, I don't want to interrupt you, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. I hadn't heard from you in a year anyway. Come on, man. Talk to us. Talk to me.
I always fall back. Me and Damon talk about this all the time. I always fall back to one thing. This is a business. This is a business. And we have run it as if we're a penny stock in the stock market. And yeah, that's great. That's great when you hit. But I'm going to tell you, less than 1% of penny stocks hit. And so if you don't invest in top talent, top executives, and run an organization at the top level, This is what you get. This is why I was kind of shocked, to be honest with you, that the coach, Quinn, even came here. That's number one. Because I'm with DeMond. All I got to do is look at the roster. All I got to do is look at the president of basketball operations. And I can tell you real quick if we're serious or not. And let me say this. When they name whoever this is coming, I'll come on this show and I'll tell you instantly whether we're going to win or whether we're going to lose. Because it's going to either be status quo or we're going to make a sweeping change and decide we're going to be a well-run organization with top-tier talent. Because everybody shits on Trey, but Trey is all we got. He's all we've had. The little pieces we've had here and there is a guy who's got 1 or 2 years left and he has a decent season, we move on. We bring somebody else in too old, or we bring somebody in too young. You ain't going to win consistently through the draft. You're not. Watch what happens to the Detroit Pistons next year. When if they don't upgrade that talent, the Detroit Pistons will be right where the Atlanta Hawks end up. Because if you're not willing to make the trades, make the signings, make the commitment to management to get better, nobody wants to come here, man. That's been a fact forever. And we keep thinking we can throw these little pieces around Trey and somehow get to 50 wins. I don't even give a damn if we get to 50 wins. We can't win when it counts. And we're not going to win when it counts until we start spending the money and Ressler get the fuck out of the way and let some real basketball executive come in here and set up his staff. And if Quinn needs to go, Quinn's ass needs to go. But there ain't no way, as a guy who's run a business, I told you when he made that mistake with DJ, he would have been fired on the spot from me. I would have let him that day. He was gone. I couldn't trust him anymore. So he lets him hang around another year, which makes us look like a bunch of fucking idiots. That's why that article gets written, because we don't know how to run our own fucking house. And now everybody, we're the laughing stock. With no fucking wonder Boogie Cousins told Trey, get the fuck out of there. You ain't winning there.
Joe Lane. I mean, how many times you heard me say it, White Mike? I've been told Trey to leave.
You ain't winning there.
Because guess what?
There.
All the fans who want Trey Young to leave go be right on this show when we win it. When we in February and we win in our 7th game of the season, talk about DeMond, I don't know what we're gonna do. Listen, okay. I don't know why people listen. Y'all seen us without Trey Young. Listen, don't let them 1 or 2 games fool you now. Don't let them 1 or 2. DeMond, but we beat the Celtics without. Okay,
but man, they were celebrating. They were celebrating. And see something I got to say about Landry Fields. By virtue of the fact that Landry Fields helped sign off on the backstabbing of Travis Schlenk and gave away all of those draft picks in order to get DeJounte Murray, when you had a real executive here that said that was too much to give up for him, that disqualifies him in my book as far as knowing about anything. He has torn this franchise up.
I got
Landry Fields.
That's why he kept saying that collaboration shit, John, because he didn't want to take all the heat on his own. It's two reasons why he probably said that. He didn't want to take the heat, right? Or he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
I go with number 2. Door number 2.
Everybody else making the moves, and he's just the figurehead, so he can't say I did it. Because then you gonna have them boys in the background like, hey, buddy, you ain't get the credit now.
Let me say one more. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna say one more thing. Next time you think the Hawks are gonna compete, I want you to go pull that roster up, and I want you to tell me who on our team starts for a championship contending team. Just I don't care who you find. Find me one. Who's gonna start on a Boston Celtics? Who's gonna start on a Golden State? Find me one. And yet we think Trey can lead us to the promised land with this shit. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I agree with White Mike completely. I mean, that's why when I talk to Mike and Foot, it's like you ought to put all the Otis on your best player. And yeah, we could just say that Trace does some dumb stuff and he doesn't give the effort that he has. But look who he's playing with, man. He's got to do everything. He doesn't have to. He has to do literally everything. So of course he's gonna have moments where he's conserving on defense or he's not giving effort because he's frustrated. Like you put all that pressure on a kid who's 6'1", skinny as a rail. The defense is all over him every single time. There's no help. Exactly. It's just like
Cujo. My bad. Go ahead. Can you talk to someone this for Cujo?
Oh, but I just to me it's like
what kind of subliminal messages y'all sending? Putting up aluminum foil.
I like to eat them
what the hell?
Super pause.
But anyway,
I think the young kids call.
I'm sorry, C Wonder, man. I'm just trying to follow along.
My bad. Go ahead, C Wonder. My bad.
Good. I was trying to figure out why you got the aluminum foil too. Like, what are you trying to do, Demar? But anyway,
Reynolds rap. Still got Reynolds rap.
This is my biggest issue, and White Mike said it too. This is a business, and when you have an owner that constantly is interfering every single time, and nepotism is taking over, and you letting your kid, you didn't even. Tony said he didn't even really buy the team for himself. He bought the team for his kids because they like basketball and they do basketball, bro. Then you have no business buying the team if you don't care about the team.
He bought him a dump truck for Christmas. What the hell?
See, this one don't make sense to me. Right? If
that's having money, that's stupid money.
If I'm a billionaire, right? If I'm a billionaire and I'm spending,
you know what? They all snort.
Like
got too much money. They all snort.
Billionaire, and I'm spending $900 million for a team, right? For my, say I'm doing it for my kids. Somebody let me know if I'm crazy. What I would do is I'm getting the best executives I could get my hands on, and my son is going to work under the executive, and he's making zero decisions. I'll listen to him when he's talking, so I can see if he's learning, but he's not making no decisions. That's why I can't understand how a billionaire would just. I need to know what his son told him to make that Murray deal when you got a proven NBA executive saying, hey, don't do it.
Don't do it.
I don't know what his son told him to make him say to sign off on that.
Trae Young also signed off on that. Y'all know this. It was not just his son.
But Mark, this is what you got to understand.
But that's Mark, the problem.
Your great GMs, top GMs, they don't listen to players. You take their input. Input. Me personally, I'm not taking a player input. I don't give a fuck.
Right? Let me debunk this
because it's not the player job to build the team.
And Trae Young is desperate.
And I'm gonna tell you this, Mark. I'm gonna tell you this. In my opinion, as a player, if you don't have no championships, your word don't really hold weight to me.
I agree.
If I'm the executive. Now, if you're talking about LeBron, Kyrie, a champion, then I'm gonna listen to you because I'm like, okay, this dude had been to the top, so let me see what he's talking. But if you ain't even been to the top, how you gonna tell me my job? Because it's my job, right?
And then on top of that,
when I listen to you, it's still my job to say, yeah,
no.
I listen to Mark, but yeah, he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I just listen to him though, because he's our best player. I listen to him, but I ain't taking that. Hell no, we ain't going to get this dude because Mark. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you wouldn't say that either. You just keep that to yourself.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Keep that to yourself.
That's what I'm saying to my other executives. Hey, what did Mark
say? I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust them. I just keep that to myself.
No, I trust them because they the dudes I hire. I'm not coming in with your dudes. These are my guys that I trust. And I'm going to say
they smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers.
No, but see what backstabber.
Remember the spirit group. Remember the spirit group, Demond.
The spirit group are owners, not executives. I'm talking about.
No. It was a combination. No, it was a combination.
Spirit group is an ownership group. Okay,
I wouldn't trust the executives either.
The executives like Ferry was not part of the ownership group. Your president isn't ownership. Okay. So if I'm the president, first of all, I'm bringing in my people that I trust.
Okay, you can't trust, man.
That I built a relationship over time. But at the end of the day, listen, Mark can be my best player. But if he ain't got no championship, your word mean nothing to me. Because what you've been doing don't work.
But Damon, I understand what you're saying, but I can't even blame Trey for that. Because like Mike said, he was desperate. After that Miami Heat series when they were banging him around. Well, pause.
What I'm mad at,
say what you gonna say, C1. If they were banging him around, they were banging him around. Everybody know what banging around is. Don't be doggone pausing all the third time. They banging him around like a pinata at a Mexican birthday.
See, one is scared of the chat, man. Listen.
Damn the chat.
No, this is the thing. And I always bring it up.
Jesus Christ.
Jerry Krause Michael Jordan talked to Jerry Krause all the time. You know how many moves he did that Michael Jordan recommended? 0. You know what he told Michael Jordan? No, you don't know what you're doing. This is my job. You play the game. I build the team. That's why you always hear Michael Jordan talk about, every time he give a speech, he always bring up players do this. What he says, the organization does this, but the players are the ones who have to play the game for the champ. Because he had a beef with Krause. But the thing is this: Krause built a fucking 6th championship. Probably would have won 8 if Jordan never leaves. Yeah, he put the right pieces around Michael Jordan. Pippen.
No, they were scared of Hakeem.
Guess what he did? When he got there? Traded Michael Jordan best friend. Oakley got him up out of there. He's like, hell no. Y'all buddy, but get up out of here. See? You can listen to a player, but you as the executive is the subject matter expert. Are you really gonna let a player tell you how to do your job?
I mean, but still,
see, that was the same thing. Mark, go ahead. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not like Trey made the decision, but again, you're asking Trey, hey, can you play with this guy? This guy is a ball-dominant player. Are you willing to evolve your game? Are you willing to play off ball? And again, Trey agreed. It's not like Trey was like, nah, I can't do it, and then they still did it. I mean, that doesn't make sense. But I want to make this point. I know we always talk about ownership. I think we all agree ownership is poor. But ownership was also a big part of how we got Trae Young. The whole Trae Young trade, Luka and Trae Young trade was a owner's trade. Those were two owners that made those trades. So I think that is the issue, is that the ownership is sticking and holding on to Trae Young because that's the decision they made. And I find it hard. I just don't understand why we're continuing to hold on to a poor decision that was made 7 years ago.
Because you know what, Mark, I believe your opportunity to move on with a great return has already passed.
But that's not true. Again, in real estate, I see it every day. The homeowner always thinks their house is more valuable than it is. That's exactly what we're witnessing here. Hawks fans and the Hawks think Trey is more valuable than what he actually is.
No, we look at the market.
No, well, I'm going to say no, not me.
The market dictates his value, and what we can get for Trey is fair. Are we going to get Giannis for Trae Young in a swap, or are we going to get an all-star player? Of course not. Mark. But we can get some picks.
I ain't giving up a Hawk. Listen, you can't. Mark. You also got to factor in Tony Wrestler is about to open up that Centennial Yards. Okay. He's not going to open up that Centennial Yards, and your best player is Dyson Daniels. Okay. No. Your best player. Nobody want to come see nobody else on this team besides Mark. Are you gonna pay $200 to go look at Mogay?
No one paid $200 this season with Trae Young on the roster. So what I'm saying,
if you sat on that front row, you did. Them season ticket holders did.
But what I'm saying is we were 30th in attendance.
Oh, they locked in. They have no choice. They may as well have led them down there with a blindfold and a cigarette in their mouth.
I'm getting season tickets. I'm gonna call the Hawks. I'm gonna call the Hawks. I'm getting season tickets for next year because I know we finna do something.
I just want to say this.
Oh no! Hold up on that car wash.
We've always been low in attendance as a organization. We've always been low.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just saying
don't try to justify. People didn't want to spend their hard-earned money to look at Dyson Daniels.
No, people want to see a winning product. People do not in Atlanta. We do not care about star players, bro. That is not how it works in Atlanta. We just want to
say what? Wait, whoa! Who don't care about star players?
We do not care about star players.
Who don't?
So Atlanta don't care about
star players.
I mean,
when Dominique was here.
Let me ask you something, Mark. Let me ask you something.
Yeah, Dominique.
That's
homegrown talent.
Hey, Mark,
he wasn't alive when Dominique was here, just Mike was.
Hey, since 2000, Mark.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. I can tell you. We went to see Dominique.
Let it go.
Hey, Mark, I got a question for you.
Win.
I got a question for you, Mark. I got a question. Hey, Mark, how many stars have you had on this team since 2000?
Our most successful team in Hawks.
No, not team. I said how many stars have you had in this organization since 2000?
In Atlanta sports or just the Hawks?
The Hawks.
Like you said, you got a handful. I mean, maybe
even
calling Joe Johnson. Maybe even calling Joe Johnson. But even when we got Joe Johnson, was he a star player? Was Paul Millsap a star player? Was Kyle Korver? No, they were winning players. We want winning players.
Okay.
We want winning players.
You trying to be not a winning player?
Listen.
Dyson Daniels is a winning player.
And Trey's not a winning player?
Hey, Mark.
He's a winning player, but we are at a point where we have to shake things up. Like, what are we going to do? Just keep him until he retires?
No, you're gonna keep him for another. You're gonna keep him for another 2 years.
So is Trae Young worth his next contract in Atlanta?
Yeah,
a max. Yeah, he worth a max.
He's worth a max.
He worth a max.
He's worth a max.
I mean, we got junk around him, man. How can
That's what I'm saying. Like, Mark really want us to trade Trae and go out there with. Listen to me, Mark. Listen to me. I love the 60-win team. It's the reason why that shit never happens again.
They got.
I love the what was it? The 2000 something Pistons. It's the reason why that shit don't happen again. You need stars to win in the NBA. Let's not play no games here.
So
your top teams got stars. Am I lying, Mark?
So Denver a couple of seasons ago, you would consider that just some all-star team that was put together? Or was that a good basketball team, a well-coached team?
They had 3 stars.
They had Jamal.
Wait. So you telling me that
Jokic they had a 2-time MVP on there now.
Jokic is not a top 5 player in the NBA for the past 6 years?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but what I'm saying is
he's 2-time MVP though.
I didn't say an all-star team. Bart, I never said you need an all-star team.
Just stars, a star, some kind of star, something to draw the fans down.
Mark, you just said it, Mark. You
something
just
for somebody to pay attention and look at. Hey, you see what Buddy did?
Not gonna get a star in return for Trae Young.
But to me, because again, to y'all's point, Jamal Murray, we have that in a Jalen Johnson.
He has not proved that on the big stage at
Jamal
all.
Murray's an Olympian.
He's a winner
for Canada,
NBA champ.
Yo, MVP about to be a Canadian. Canadian.
You just compare him to Jalen Johnson.
Canadians hooping, beating our ass.
But again, y'all keep saying we have trash, but we have solid enough pieces for Trae to get in the playoffs.
Talk to me. Who you got?
You just said Jalen Johnson. Now, again,
how many games did he miss this year, Mark?
The year before,
he missed 50 games.
He missed this season. He was injured. He was injured this season. But again, he is a player that was on the team. When he was on the team, we weren't some great team still.
You were 21-19 with Jalen Johnson.
We were still 500.
Jalen Johnson stay out again. If Jalen Johnson stay out again, I'm
so
going to
Jalen
put him
Johnson
back.
get hurt.
He's going to have to repeat ninth
Jalen
grade
Johnson
again.
get hurt, right?
I'm
What
sorry.
happens after,
For lack of attendance, he's going to have to repeat ninth grade.
Mark, what happened after that? Jalen Johnson get hurt. What happened?
No, but again, I'm just talking about we saw our core at one point this season. We've seen Trae Young at his best, and it's still about 500. Is that true or is that false?
You see Trae Young. Listen, Mark. Listen. See,
in 2021, we were still a 500 ball club.
I see what you're doing. Mark. You're using a little.
Oh, we were mid. We were mid, like mid has never been before. We were mid. We were mid in about 5 different categories that year.
Exactly. And we still were able to make a run. So this idea that you trade Trae Young and then you have no hope.
But no. Mid is not good.
What run?
Mid is not good.
What run did we make?
2021. You had Bogey. He's not a star player. He was a big part of that run. What was he or was he not a big part of that run?
Hold up, Mark. Hold up. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about that.
You had Gallo.
Hold up. At the
he was not a star
break,
player.
At the All-Star break, Mark, at the All-Star break, with that same team, at the All-Star break, the team was how many games under 500? 7. It was 7 games under 500. So they wasn't good. Okay, they wasn't good. So let's not act like this was some good team rolling through the season. They looked awful.
We stunk.
Yeah, we were terrible.
You fired the coach. So let's
that submarine. Look, that submarine of a team barely surfaced. You could just see the top of the doggone mast where the radio tower was, and it would go right back up underwater. They were doing this right here.
Nate McMillan take over. You go on a 27-11 run in the second half of the season. Okay. Right. So and I'm saying that because the team, we look at the ending results, but I didn't meet no Hawks fan when that season started saying, DeMond, I think this team might do something. I ain't hear nobody say that.
Exactly. So we trade Trae Young. That doesn't mean that you have no chance at doing anything. At the end of the day, you got to put together a winning team. You don't have to put no all-stars together. And we've tried this for 7 years now with Trae Young. All I'm saying is,
no, we haven't.
We haven't tried anything.
No,
Did somebody show Mark the budget?
No, we haven't.
Did somebody show Mark the budget?
We haven't.
Under the
budget worksheet.
We've been on Wick, man. We've been on Wick.
You've been on Wick. Hey, your D.
Get the nice stuff on.
He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth.
Single dads don't get no work card.
Your GM
He's telling the truth. Mike telling the truth.
He is telling the truth.
He's telling the truth. We've been on food stamps, WIC, Medicaid.
And it ain't gonna change.
You can't keep the same baggage.
It ain't gonna change.
Hey, Mike. We go out and get one suit and think we balling.
Exactly.
How can you expect Trae Young to win? And he's had.
It's not all Trae Young's fault.
Talent around him.
It's not Trae Young's fault. What I'm saying
why are people expectations?
That's not what he's saying.
For Trae Young,
that's not what he's saying.
Why is people expectations for Trae Young so high when they will come up here and tell me that we don't got nobody, and then I'll be like, well, why do you expect him to win? And you just told me we ain't got shit.
Yo, who's the best? Just name the best player Trae Young has played with.
The best.
Vince Carter. We talking about legacy?
Yeah, Vince Carter. I would go with just about to retire Vince Carter.
He played with a bad back Dwight Howard, who got benched in the playoffs. Yeah, no. Dwight Howard was before Trae.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah. He went before
a year before. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, about 3 years.
Vince Carter.
Well,
Vince Carter. You right?
The best talent he probably played with. When you talk about production, you just look at everything. It has to be what?
It's either John Collins or DeJounte Murray.
It has to be DeJounte. His pound for pound.
So the best player he's ever played with, this organization has put around him, is another ball dominant point guard. Does no one else see what's wrong with that? That's stupid.
That you overpaid for
That's what happens
Hey,
when you let
hold on a second.
non-basketball executives make basketball decisions.
And here's my argument for that, for Trey. Here's my argument. I'm only going to make it real quick. Despite everything that we just talked about, he's the best passer in the NBA, and he's leading the league in assists. Now, you tell me what he'll do with real talent around him.
What do you mean,
Yeah.
real talent? Like who?
He's
Smart.
leading the league.
Smart.
He's
He
leading
who?
the league in assists, passing to
I
people
love
who
Trey.
can't shoot,
I understand Trey's greatness. In 2021,
passing to people who can't shoot, and
Thank
most
you.
of his assists are on people that only have to make one or two itty bitty moves to
second.
get to the
Hey,
basket.
John,
Y'all
wait a
arguing
second.
with
And
the
he's
wrong
scoring.
guy.
And he's scoring 25 points a game.
Y'all arguing
And
with the
scoring
wrong guy.
and saving the ship every damn day, every game, saving the organization every game.
Y'all arguing with the wrong person. What I'm saying,
I mean, I thought that was a job for Superman, but damn it, it's Trey Young.
Trey better than me because y'all would have called me.
Hey, every time Trey Young come out on the floor,
get me off the Hawks.
every time Trey Young come on the floor, this is a job for Superman.
I had a jersey on that said on the back of my jersey. You know
Come
what
on, man.
Back of my jersey would have said "quitter" because I'm out of here.
Man, look here. Hey, Jamon, I just hopped on one of them trains running up under the damn Phillips Arena. Talking about a gulch. I show you how to use the gulch.
You know what I would have did, White Mike? Hey, one day I just
Been out of left.
They would be like, "Where Demond at?" He ain't here. Y'all would have put me.
You
on
know, I've been saying it. I've been saying it all year. I've been saying it for about 2 or 3 years. Trey Young is doing too freaking much because he has absolutely nothing around him. Nothing.
Now, let me add this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving Trey no excuses because his ass can't guard nobody because he fucking sucks defensively.
I am. You overworking him.
I'm
giving him one. He's being overworked.
No, he's
he need to file a grievance with the union.
He awful on defense because the fucking coach Quinn Snyder allow him to do the shit. That's his concept. Why you think Trey?
No. Hey.
It is.
Hey, I understand that.
What you gonna do on defense, right? He'll guard somebody,
Steph Curry
right?
play defense?
Hey, when they drive the lane, you know what he does? He passes them off. He looking for help. That tells me the coach has told him that. Somebody told him.
Well, there's a clip. There's a clip that's circling.
I forgot who it was. Somebody attacked that one possession where it was the Miami game where Mo G was guarding what's my man name? What's the big they got in Miami? Bam.
Khalil or Bam.
It was one of them. Yeah, it was the Miami game. It's one of them games. Listen, so he guarding the big man, right? So the big man, they tried to run a pick and roll to get the switch on Trey. So when they run it, Mo G, the big rolls. Mo G says, "Let me follow the big because I've been guarding this dude the whole fucking game." So he goes and follows the big. Was it the Miami game? It was the Miami game, right? Yeah. He goes and follows.
You sure it wasn't Orlando? You sure it wasn't Orlando?
It was Orlando. You're right, because it was Paolo. It was Orlando. He was guarding Paolo the whole night with no fucking help. To be honest, for real, right? They wasn't doubling Paolo or nothing. He guarding Paolo. They run the pick and roll. Paolo gives up the ball. Paolo goes in the paint. Mo G kind of was stuck because he looking at Trey.
Trey going into
Trey to take his ass out there and get on Anthony Black.
Going down there.
Mo G says, "Okay, let me stay with Paolo." Trey Young ass floats in the lane, and I'm like, "Nigga, where's you going?
I
You're
agree.
not going to guard Paolo. Get your ass out there on the perimeter." But what that tells me is somebody is telling him to do that because they do it all the time.
They overhelp.
Trey doesn't. I've been saying it for years. He don't guard nobody. That's why nobody can tell you who he guarded. I'm like, who was Trey guarding?
Why should Trey have to guard?
I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you what a Hall of Fame,
because
he Hall of Famer champion said. Kawhi Leonard. He told his coach. He said, "If you can't play defense, why you on the court? Why we gotta help your ass?" That's what Kawhi told his coach. He said, "Why do I have to go help? He an NBA player just like me. Why do I have to play defense and he can't guard his own guy?"
And to me, it's less about
Is
individual
they
defense.
giving him
It's more
25
about
and
team
10 every
defense.
night?
It's more about team defense, though. He's a poor team
25 and
defender.
10 every night.
That's
and there's a stat. There's a stat. Now, and I don't know how you're gonna. I don't know how you're gonna get around it. But there is a stat.
What's up, Bam?
Oh.
What's good? Got a Heat
No, I
fan up in
want
the
to
building.
say-
What's good?
No, I wanted to talk about the game. I mean, Mitchell, at the end of the game, Trae Young, he couldn't guard Mitchell. You know what I mean? And that's your best player.
Okay.
Mitchell was just open all the time.
Well, that wasn't just Trae. You also had Dyson that left him open a couple of times.
Right, yeah. And LeVert, I think he missed some shots too. But I like your player, Atongbo. I can't pronounce his name. He played
Okongwu?
really good.
Okongwu.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. I
Hey,
think he had 30
what y'all
points
think
and like 13 rebounds.
Hey, y'all gonna advance in the playoff?
I think we're a piece away. You know, I think we need a guy like Giannis or something.
What about Trey? You think Trey fit with y'all?
No.
Because it
No,
be
I don't
some
think
Heat
he's
fans
the
in the
culture.
chat
I don't know.
who be wanting Trey Young. I'm just asking. I want to ask a Heat fan face to face. Would you want Trey Young on your team?
Everybody wants Trae
depends on
Young
the
on their
package.
team.
Don't
It
worry
depends
about the
on the
package. Don't
package.
worry about the package. Would you want Trey Young on your team as your starting point guard right now?
I wouldn't mind him,
Yes,
but we
he
need
do.
Giannis. He's all right.
But you would take him as your starting point guard though, right?
Well, we
Yes,
have
he would.
Hero.
But that way
Everybody
Hero can
would.
move off ball and almost be like Steph, just running around like he do now anyway.
He has to play defense though. The culture.
Well,
they
now
won't let him
Steph
go.
do more than just run around.
How about
Why y'all think Trae got to play defense for?
Steph do more than just run around, Demond.
What?
What do you think he has to play? Because everyone does.
Well,
Like,
obviously he makes
No,
shots.
no, they
Instead, he
don't.
run
No,
around.
no. See, that's what y'all do. See, that's what a lot of people do. They'll just say, all Steph do is run around. And well, obviously he makes shots. Come on, man.
What else? What else? he
Give
do?
the devil his
but-
due. Give the
Tyler
devil his
Hero,
due.
these guys are like Stephen Curry.
The man takes eyes out. He just pluck eyes out.
What's that mean?
What does what mean?
He plucked eyes out. What that mean?
He wild.
I just said
That's what we used to call. Hey, Mike, can you tell him that's what we used to call that in the old days? Yeah.
I said, did I say that? I said
You
he
know
made
what?
shots. Did I say
The
he
more
made
I think
shots?
of it,
Yeah. It was an afterthought. It was a disrespectful afterthought.
No, because I was talking about I was using Steph in relation to what Hero does, because Hero does a lot of running around off screens. That's what I was referencing.
Oh, man.
I mean, Steph Curry.
I just had that aroma.
I ain't gotta
It was an aroma.
Just say Steph Curry. I ain't gotta say does he make shots,
Yeah, you do.
bro. All I gotta do is say Steph Curry. People know what time it is.
Okay, but what do you guys have to fix?
Say something real quick.
What do you think Atlanta has to fix next year to get in the playoffs?
Oh man, we need a new transmission. We need a new engine.
Am I making a
body,
mistake?
man? Look, it's rust all on the frame. I mean, the whole thing need, man. We need to throw the whole thing away.
We're gonna start with the owner. We're gonna get him up out of here. Okay.
He got to go. Rustler got to go. This is the spirit group all over.
Okay. Would you guys trade Trae Young?
No.
Hold up. Mark Will, what's up?
ma'am.
Mark, what's up?
No.
I want to hear
He
John.
said
You got
no.
to
Why?
No.
Not
Trae
now.
Young for what?
Not now, at least. Yeah.
For what?
Hey,
What we
Mark
gonna do
Will,
for
what's
him?
up? What's up, Bam? Mark said he would. What's up?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you said you will. Why?
He is available. Absolutely.
He said why, Mark. Bruce said why.
For
I mean,
what?
Bam said why.
I
And
said
Bam,
why. Why?
it's not because he's not a talented player. He's probably the most talented player in our franchise history. But we just got into a point where it's time to move on. It's just time. I'm not about to pay him that contract. It's the same situation that ended up in Dallas with Luka. I don't agree with it.
Now they looking weird.
But
Look at
Dallas
that.
looks like
hey,
And they are firing people behind that, Mark. They firing people. People are getting fired behind that stupid mess.
Look at them.
Return though.
And then
What are we going to get in return for Trey?
and then the general manager down there at Dallas that fired him, he's going on there. I didn't realize it because Stephen A. Smith told him a new one. You didn't realize what Luka meant to the franchise and to the fan, and you there every day.
But John,
you on that?
They were just in the finals,
Hey,
though.
but John.
They were
Think
just in the
about it
finals.
though. Think about it. Nico the one taking the heat, but the owner had to sign off on it.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know why they ain't mad at the owner. The
owner
owner had
make
to
every
sign
decision.
off on it.
Whoa, no. Hey. Now, Demond, this is the same situation that we're in now. Okay, non-basketball people making mistakes. Whether you're a basketball savant or whether you're a dummy off the street. Now, this man's job is in the balance for doing something stupid like this.
He's not gonna get fired.
Well, somebody did get fired. Didn't somebody get fired down there at Dallas behind this?
That's what I'm trying to
Not
tell
yet.
you. The owner was in on it.
Not yet.
No one got fired
How
yet.
can the owner fire
Hold
Nico?
on.
How can he fire Nico and the owner the one who signed off on it?
Yeah, the owner definitely agreed.
The owner didn't want him there. I don't know why people ain't mad at the owner.
That's what I don't understand either, DeMond.
Why didn't the owner want him there?
Because
Man, you
I'll
gotta
tell
read
you,
it. It's so
wanna
much
pay him.
damage
He drank
stuff
beer
going
and
on,
smoked
man.
hookah.
The
I
owner
done
wants
heard
to go to
money. I done
Vegas. He
heard,
wants to move
out
the
of
team
shape.
Why didn't the owner want Luka?
because he
You
wants
had
to
to,
move
drank
the
you had to
beer.
team.
go read all
Smoke
it's a whole bunch of stuff, man.
He
There's
wants
no
to
bunch
make
of
the
stuff.
arena.
Because see, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wasn't they trying to move Dallas to Seattle? They were trying to move Dallas to Seattle or something of that nature.
Yeah, he trying
Las
to.
Vegas.
He trying to move the team on the low, but
Or the Vegas for that new franchise.
Right, he wants to
Okay,
make the
yeah.
Mavericks a casino.
I want to get back to the Hawks. Okay?
Demond.
That's why he was in on it. He's not going to fire anyone.
Go ahead, my guy, tight ass Tony. What's up?
I got you a visual for the state of the Hawks rebuild. I'm gonna have to leave.
Hey,
but I want to
we got basketball royalty in the house.
I'm
crying.
Check this out.
What up,
dead.
tight ass Tony?
This
Hey,
is
what's
the
that? Is that
state.
the Centennial Yards?
This is the state of the Hawks franchise. Mark it down.
Who house is that?
That's, you gotta.
Who house is that?
You tear that
Who
shit
building
down.
is that?
You tear that shit down with no idea who's gonna invest and pray that somebody's gonna rebuild something. That's
I
where we
agree with
at.
Mark.
Well,
I
you
agree
right,
with you. I
man.
think they have to trade Trey Young.
That's our courthouse.
I think
They
it's
said
time
there was
to
too
move
much
on.
black mold and it was too old.
Hey, Bam.
Where-
Bam,
hey.
we give you 00 for Adebayo. What's up? Straight up.
No, put a Tongbo in the package.
Yeah, you can
I
have
like
a
him.
Conwoo. We give you a Conwoo and Kobe Buffkin for Bam. What's up? For Bam.
Let him go because we're not gonna use him right. Let him go.
He's a good
That
player,
man needs to be
28
a forward.
points
Y'all got him
and
playing
13
undersized as a center. Man, that Joe couldn't play dead with a casket and a preacher in the center spot.
Oh Lord.
Jesus.
What's up, Bryce?
Oh,
Or you
excuse me,
guys
Steve
have to
Wonder.
think
I
that-
keep forgetting you're on the.
Hey, y'all,
You
hey,
have
y'all,
to
hey,
trade then for
hey,
like
listen,
Kevin
hey, y'all
Durant
gotta
or
cut all that
something.
crap.
And make
We got a
Trae
man
Young
of
the
God
second
up here,
best
man.
player.
We got a man of God up here. Y'all got to limit that profanity. See, hey, you need to
I
go to
appreciate
church,
that.
right?
It's
Go
like
talk
us
to the
with
big
Tyler
man.
Hero and Bam.
Go talk to the
We
big
can't
man,
win.
and you tell him we need somebody who can walk on water to save this franchise.
No, don't bother him with that. Don't bother him with that. He got Trump. He got Trump. He got
Why
to
don't you
solve
guys
that
go for
purpose.
Booker?
My
What's
thing,
good, Bryce?
my
Hold
thing
on. Let me hit a homeboy Bryce, man.
My
We
bad.
go Bryce, Ryan, and then we go Rick.
Cool. So what exactly? So I know what we're talking about. We're just about to save the franchise.
Yeah. What I did, I started off by going through that article and just telling everybody how much I was right. That's all.
I got you.
We were.
I was about to say we all agree with you.
Yeah, we all agree with you. We already knew it.
I'm dead. I actually haven't read the full article, but I've seen snippets of it, so I'm aware of certain things that are in there. Though I will bring up one thing that might be a little different, but it kind of is impacting the Hawks and it's impacting all the teams. Just as a reminder, the new CBA. I do want to bring that up because There was like a tweet I saw before I came on here that talked about how the new CBA is impacting some playoff teams right now.
Yeah.
And the construction of rosters. For example, Denver. Denver was built under the old CBA. Under the new CBA, they've had to let go of some talented players. And what is Denver's biggest issue? They don't really have anybody outside of the starting five and Russell Westbrook.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right? Think about Phoenix. If they were under the old CBA, they probably would be in a little bit better position than what they are now. Under the new CBA, straight ass, right?
Celtics too.
Memphis, they are going to have to face that at some point. They're probably going to have to break up Morant, Jackson, and Bane, just because they don't have enough talented bodies across the roster. But the new CBA technically has made it where, as a team, you have to have a full rotation instead of a top-heavy roster. Right. It's the same issue that Milwaukee's in. Outside of Lillard, Giannis, and Brook Lopez and Portis, I mean, they don't have a lot. They also give a lot of assets to acquire that.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to have to make some moves, even though we'll see what happens with Giannis. So
yeah, you guys have a good rookie, you know.
Hold up, man. Let
Okay.
Bryce go. We're gonna switch back to you.
But my point is, when constructed the roster, whatever direction the Hawks decide to go in, whether that is star chasing or if that's continuing development, the new CBA definitely has impacted not the top of your team, but the middle of your team. Because you can't just invest certain money into all these solid players, but not stars, because the CBA just doesn't allow it if you have a lot of money in the top part of your team. One thing right now the Hawks do have is flexibility, because outside of Trey and I guess Jalen, you don't really have anybody who's making insane money right now. You know, you don't have that. So you have flexibility. Oklahoma City is a great example. They have all these talented players because they developed all these guys, right? And then they added a couple of key free agents. But they also have flexibility where if they can't pay, they ain't gonna be able to pay everybody. But they have very movable players. And they don't, and then when it's time for them to move off whoever they decide to move off of, it won't be an issue.
Right.
So the biggest thing any team builds during this current version of the CBA is that basically you need to make sure that you have a full allotted roster. You can't just say my stars are better than your stars and we're going to win the series. Because they say owners don't mind paying stars. They mind playing players who help stars. And so I think that whatever happens in terms of the Hawks situation, that is something that will be in mind. Think about the new GM they just promoted. One thing they've said, he was great with the salary cap.
Yeah,
he helped in Golden State. They think he'll help here. And so that is a big issue and a big thing that teams have to think about when building a team. And that's why I think there's more of an emphasis on developing players. There's more of an emphasis on the G League system or just drafting right. Because you can't just say, hey, let's just sign a bunch of veterans and a bunch of stars and that'll get us through. Because that situation, when you get to the postseason especially, you're going to need those, as you see, teams with the best supporting cast are having a lot of success right now. Indiana has a better supporting cast outside of their stars than Milwaukee. That's why I took Indiana to win the series.
Right.
Because they have more outside of Tyrese Halliburton than them. So they can get more from those guys. Milwaukee hoping to God they're going to get something from somebody else. And so that's just something to definitely keep in mind for sure.
So would you pay Trae Young is the question. Would you give him this new fat contract with all that said?
Yes, you give him the money, Mark.
No, Bryce. No, I want to hear what Bryce thinks.
Listen,
he's the expert.
Bryce basically told you. What did he say? He said, you only paying right now. You only paying Trae Young and Jalen Johnson. Trae already at 40.
His next contract. His next
contract. If he don't make all NBA, you get him. I think it's a 5-year, it's something $200 million. Basically, it's gonna be about 50. It's average 50 per year. You ain't paying nobody else. Why wouldn't you pay them? And once again, Mark, nobody is coming to see Moji.
No one's going to see Trae Young.
Nobody. Yes, they is. Because when I go to San Antonio, the only jersey I see, that's
number 11.
Got 11 on it. Me included.
We're talking about that.
They on sale. Those jerseys on sale down there, cheap.
I don't see 13. Well, I just saw Wembanyama jersey at Ross. I should have got one. But
see.
You don't see nothing else but 11. Okay? When I watch, you know what I like?
And it's an easy number to remember.
I like to watch when we on the road, and this is what they do. If you watching the Atlanta feed, right? When we on the road, they always look for Hawk fans in the building. You know what they be wearing? It's only 2 jerseys motherfuckers care about in Atlanta. 11 and 21. I don't see 13. I don't see 6, 7, 45. I don't see none of them other jerseys. Okay? but on a serious tip, Bryce said the same thing I said. You only paying, my bad, Bryce. I be running my mouth, man. I'm sorry.
No, you good, man.
You only paying Jalen 30 right now for the next 5. It's average. We just call it 30, right?
Right.
Trey already in his contract at almost 50 million. The only person you might have to give a real payday to is Dyson Daniels. Outside of that, who you paying? Niggas ain't coming here. So who you paying? So why not pay Trae Young? Because I'm gonna tell you this, and I tell people this all the time. I look at Trae Young, okay, because I know people be like, he ain't the number 1, he ain't number 2. I look at Trae Young as a championship piece. Whether you want to put him as the first option or the 50th option, you have to give Trae credit. When it comes to playmaking, he the best I ever seen. In an Atlanta uniform, easy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Why
in
not
the playoffs too?
Not add to that talent? Same thing Bryce said. That's why I came up here probably about a month ago and said what? I said this. Hey, who can we steal from the Celtics? Because they going through the same thing Bryce was talking about. The CBA. They not cutting back because the luxury tax. They don't care. They don't care about the money. It's the assets that you lose in that second apron. They got $200-300 million players over there, dog. But I think, matter of fact, I think they hold starting 5 over 100 million. Drew Holiday over 100, Derek White over 100, or he might be at 100. Jalen 300, Tatum 300. How much is Porzingis making? 25 mil?
If I said at least 200.
Yeah, but they not.
What the problem is?
The reason they came up with the apron, the penalties, is because of the Warriors, really, because they didn't care how much their tax bill was. Their tax bill was more than our actual roster salary.
That's a crying shame.
Because when you got money, they don't be caring about that bill. Because guess what, Mark? Those 4 championships plus the winning they did in between. Look at all them. This niggas run around in Atlanta with Curry jerseys.
Of course.
Yeah, because winning does what? Make money. I told you.
But we're not winning. We're not winning.
You're not winning with Trae Young.
You're not winning. You're not winning because Tony Wrestler allowed non-basketball executives to make key decisions. Every bad move you
now, Bryce, I want to hear what you got to say about that.
My bad. Listen. I'm gonna shut up.
Bryce, I want to hear what you got to say about these fools running around here, not knowing what the hell they damn doing, just screwing up my franchise. That's what I want to hear about, Bryce.
I'll be right back. I'm supposed to be working right now. Let me go.
And Bryce, if you got a size 13 boot, just load it up, just like they did with wrestling. Just load that boot up and start busting it off in folk behind. Now, what are you thinking about this situation that just happened with the Hawks?
Just with everybody in the front office, everybody that's making decisions.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, I would assume
don't lose your job now. Don't lose your job now. But, go ahead and talk about it. But don't lose your job.
I would assume that's obviously not a great idea to do that because you have too many people cooks in the kitchen to me. Like Brad said, Landry, his position for what he was didn't have as much power as people have at that spot because of all those other voices like a Nick Wrestler, who we all are kind of not very happy that he had this basketball decision-making ability within the office.
You need for me to say it.
Say what?
Nick Wrestler, you suck. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Bryce.
And essentially that too. So
Your daddy too.
I would hope whoever they hire there will be more of a hierarchy of like who will be in decisions. Because obviously everybody has a team, but I don't need 8 people making a decision on the roster. If you have about 4 to 3, that's fine. Korver, new promoted GM, president of basketball operations, and then I mean obviously some owners meddle, some don't, but they may just be like, "Oh, you doing that? Okay." I'd rather him just be like, "Oh, y'all, that's what y'all doing? Okay," and we'll go from there. So I want them to kind of cut some names out, some voices out. Nick, gotta go, and just get some guys who know basketball. And like I said, whatever the vision that they have, just implement it and see what happens. Because that's what your job is to create this team. What do you need? What are the weaknesses? How can we fix it? What are our resources? And then figure out a plan as this offseason goes on. You pretty much know, for the draft perspective, unless the Kings get a top 4 pick, you're going to have 2 firsts. You pretty much know you're a little below. I think they're like 20, 30 million below first. Like the tax.
Guys, I'll talk to y'all later. I'll see y'all later, man.
All right, see.
All right, see.
I see
I think I read somewhere yesterday they had like 40 to 49.
Yeah, like they have some money to work with. Now, obviously, again, Jalen's extension I think kicks in. Dyson, again, he won't get a max contract, so I'm not terribly worried about what he's going to get. And then outside of that, you won't have to pay anybody again.
Yeah.
I mean, Okongu's up in a couple of years, but I mean, he's not probably going to get a max contract. So, and Ricochet has another like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, in terms of big money stuff, if you sign trade to the extension, that's the last this is like $40+ billion deal you're gonna give out to anybody, because I don't see anybody else getting that on this roster currently, unless you make a trade and bring in somebody who makes $40-50 million. So it just kind of depends. Biggest thing you can have nowadays is flexibility. Every team wants that. That's why when Boston makes a trade, they'll probably trade Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis for a very minuscule package, because they can't really take that much back when you're over the second apron. So that's just my take on it. But I definitely feel like decision-making needs to come out to the grown people in the room, take the kids out of it, take the owner out of it, let them do their job, let them work, and then see what that looks like.
Okay. Why don't you guys want to rebuild though through the draft? Trade Trae Young.
We don't have our picks, man.
We don't have our picks, Bama.
The issue with that too
you don't have your pick.
It never works either.
The issue with that too is y'all keep saying rebuild through the draft. Most of our key players in our starting lineup are under 25. So we traded young players for young players.
Exactly.
So it's one thing we had 30-year-old guys and up in age. Like these guys are young. Like are we just going to trade a young player for another young player that we have better than the young player we have now?
I think
Trey
was the oldest starter that we had. No,
our main core is like Dyson, Zach, Jalen. They're all like 23, 24 years and younger. Like 20. That's our main. I think Onyeka's 24.
It's like
here's
19.
The thing, though, RT. Here's your thing right here, right? Tony Wrestler wants to win. Okay, how do I know that? Now Landry has set us up for failure off the Murray move. But if I take the Murray move away, what he's done so far is good if we was rebuilding.
Fair.
I'll give him credit for Moji in the second round. I'll give him credit for drafting Zach, nice young talent, right? I'll give him credit for developing. I want to see what the boy down there in College Park gonna look like. What's the Serbian kid we got?
Well, Demond, hold up. Demond, can you really give him credit? Because he had to have advisors hired here in order for him to even do
I'm gonna give him credit based off his title. I'm gonna give him credit.
No.
At the end of the day, we really don't know who had the final say unless you back.
Right.
I don't know. So I'm gonna give him the credit. Well, he ain't here, so I don't care. So
I can't give them no credit.
You can't.
I can't give them no credit.
No, I don't give them credit
to rebuild. That
I can't give them. And
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Quinn Snyder didn't come here to rebuild a team. He didn't come here to develop. If he wanted to develop a team, it was plenty better options than coming to Atlanta.
Right.
Hey, Bryson, what you think about that?
Say the question to me again, exactly.
What do you think about what Damon was just saying about Quinn Snyder being here as coach and what he thought his role was going to be, or what his role?
He's not a developmental coach. He didn't come here to develop. Dude was in Costa Rica.
but I mean the idea of them hiring him under these circumstances. This is what I'm saying. Y'all pluck, like you said, Damon, y'all pluck Quinn Snyder out of Costa Rica, told him to come here to the team. So now, what did the Hawks sell him on as to coming here to this team?
I mean, go ahead, Bryce.
Bryce, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So,
because you remember we were having this conversation about a disconnect between the front office, what they wanted him to do, and what he wanted to do. There was a rumor of that,
and what the owner thought we was doing.
Yeah. So Bryce, what do you think about that?
I mean, first and foremost, I think when they were going to move off Nate, I think the biggest thing they wanted to do is first find someone who would connect with Trey. I think that would be the first foremost, because, you know, when you do this and you do have a star, you want the coach that you bring in to connect with you. Secondly, the way the team was, I've said by the time Nate left, he wasn't the right coach, and so they felt like that Quinn could potentially come in and change some things that could be better for the team. Obviously, that didn't work out once you saw the obvious roster flaws that were on those teams, and that pretty much limits what you can do if you know, like, I don't have anybody. Like I always said, like, the Hawks were pretty much those years, and it's the same issue we had this year. You know, wings was an issue. When you lose one or two, then the team got no one left. You're playing Garrison Matthews at the 3, and that's worst case scenario. So I think that this offseason, and Quinn said this too when he got hired, he loves coaching and teaching and developing guys. So I don't think that's something that he wasn't going to do regardless if they were trying to win or not. Because at the end of the day, you have to always do that. I always said Nate's biggest downfall is he said he wasn't developing with a team of a bunch of 20-year-olds. Didn't make any sense. And so I think the Hawks right now are with Quinn. I think he understands, like, all right, we gotta like push forward here, because at some point, you know, he's entering his 3rd year. So I'm sure he's like, all right, we're gonna work with these guys. We're trying to win. That's why, like, people were complaining about how he would pull Zach or pull a young player and play the veteran and say, why are we doing that if we're trying to develop? And I think it's one of those things where Quinn was like, listen, like, yeah, I'm trying to develop, but at the same time, we're also trying to make the playoffs. So if the young player ain't getting it done, I gotta, like most coaches will do, they will go to the veteran. And sadly, yes, it's Georges Niang, but that's what we got. That's what Landry gave us. So I think that I'm assuming with Landry out, Quinn and whoever is coming in and everything like that, and who they have, there's going to be more of a connection there with what they're trying to do, and which will be more revealed as we actually get into the offseason. We can start seeing the moves they make, and then we'll see what that looks like. I think that Quinn kind of mentioned it in his exit interview, like Trey, like they're kind of like, all right, like start trying to win. Let's start trying to push towards that, because obviously that's the next step for the team. That's literally the next step for the team, is to be a top 6 seed next year, literally. So now we have to see what that vision looks like. Apparently, Quinn has say in some of these decisions, so I'm curious to know what that looks like. I'm curious to know what that means. I'm curious to know how that impacts the team, especially with Landry not here. So overall, there's a lot of I feel like with the Fire, I feel like there's more questions that we don't know now than we had before, and that's why we're having these discussions.
But what if you're 11th seed again next year, 10th seed, 9th seed? Don't you think it's time to blow it up or make it?
If that was the case, then I mean, of course you would have to look at that. But you know, like, here's the thing:
Orlando,
are we assuming the team's
played better defense than you guys? Then Miami came and they played better defense.
If you look at
your defense wasn't good in the play-in, you know, they were like blown out.
Oh yeah, they were hot ass. They were hot ass after they lost Jalen.
That's what I mean. Maybe get a You need some. Maybe Trae Young's not the guy. I agree with him. I don't think he's the guy for you guys.
It's crazy. You know what drives me crazy? And I've been listening for a while, and all these people who are on this, trying to blame everything on Trae Young all the time.
I'm not blaming him. No.
Hey, Rick, speak up a little bit. Speak up a little bit, Rick. Get your phone a little bit closer because we can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, my bad. So I guess one of the things that's most perplexing to me is that how can you watch what this team was doing? I understand at the end of the year there were a lot of issues due to injuries, but how can you watch what this team was doing?
Who's beeping?
Sorry?
I think that's a swing.
There's some beeping.
Well, I'm outside. Can you hear the birds?
No, not chirping, beeping. It was a methodical beep. Beep, beep, beep. But go ahead, Rick. Go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I don't understand how people could watch what this team was and what we were doing in the earlier parts of the season before the injury. So we had Jalen Johnson, we were a top 5 team. We were kicking.
It's only covering the mic now.
Do you have your finger under your phone where the microphone is?
Hold on.
Yeah, we can't hear you very well.
And I just want to make it clear, man. I don't think anyone's blaming Trae.
No.
No.
Man, I sure hope they found him guilty because
system failure. System failure.
No, that man was in the electric chair.
What's that beeping noise?
It's Rick.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay.
Well, I don't know whether it was Rick or not, but somebody was in the electric chair. I hope the jury found him guilty.
Can you hear me now?
He gone.
Yeah, you're good, Rick. You're good, Rick. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Anyway, basically what I'm saying is how can you watch what this team was doing earlier in the year? We were a top 5 team in the East. We were kicking all the top teams in the East ass. Trae Young was probably playing some of the best defense he's played in his entire career. The team had moved up pretty. I mean, I think we were like in the probably at the very bottom of the league in previous years in defense. Hell, we even finished a little bit higher this year. It's nothing to brag about. But we were probably like at the mid. I think we were as high as like 14, 15 with overall defense earlier in the season. Then Jalen Johnson went out. Trae was deferring. His usage was going down. This was overall a team on the rise. The entire nucleus of the team is guys from 19 to 23 years old. And we watched that. We see the reason why we went down. We ended up having to trade DeAndre Hunter. We brought in a bunch of new pieces. We came into this year, most of the prognosticators were saying we were only going to win 33 to 35 games in the first place. We win more games than we won last year. And the answer still is at the end of the day, well, let's get rid of your best player and trade him. Who's the flavor of the year right now? It's Orlando. Trade him to Orlando, get a bunch of first round picks that are going to end up being at the bottom of the league because all the draft prognostications I see, all the stuff that they're saying for the trade for them is they don't even give us one of their best players. They give us a couple role players and some first round picks. They're going to end up being down in the bottom 20s. That's the answer? I mean, I just think it's ridiculous. It's never made sense to me at all.
Yeah.
We were big with
clearly
Trae
was
Young.
on
Y'all
the
remember
right
what I want to
path
remember.
and was about to be a top 5 team in the East. So I don't see the answer is trading our best player.
We were beating good teams. We were losing to bad teams. It's the same thing we've seen.
Same as us. We beat, and then we were up in these 2, but then we fell too. We fell off too.
Yeah. I think the 3-team like area between
$50 million.
Yeah. I think the teams like Miami, Orlando, and Atlanta are all in the same similar like area just because
I
like
think Hero is worth $220 million for 4
oh
years.
no.
He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's
No, yeah.
But not 4 years, 200-something million he wants.
But like,
do we give it to him? No, we're in that situation too.
Hero had a really good year, and I like Hero as a player. But
but he wants $220 million for 4 years.
I just don't. I don't think Hero is as good as Trae Young. He had a very good season.
The difference.
His career best season, wasn't it?
Yes.
Now the difference in these 3 organizations, Miami and Orlando, you got real organizations.
No, they got
Orlando not
Miami in
so much.
particular.
You know, you guys are better than Orlando at some point.
yeah.
No,
They have-
not
Orla-
organizationally. We are not.
The thing with Orlando is that they're missing just shooting. If they had Jalen Suggs this year, Orlando would probably be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the organization,
And
the
we'll watch
people
our
that
guy
you
Kel
trust.
Ware next year. Kel Ware,
Yeah.
he's gonna be good in 1 year, 2 years.
Oh man.
Yeah, we,
Hey, Bama. I was hoping the Hawks would draft Khalil, man. I was like, if we stayed 10 instead of moving up to 1, I was like, Khalil Ware.
Hey,
But-
Marion, I know
Yeah.
Marion. You and Kool-Aid, Marion. What you got? I saw you fidgeting over there, Marion. You
Yeah,
fidgeting.
I'm
I go out to Marin.
down on the cold, but let me say this.
Say
though.
something right
Hold on,
quick.
hold on, Kool-Aid. Let me say this. I think that it's really interesting that it seems as though we're always discussing, and I agree with Rick, getting rid of our best player. And right now, at the time when we have the most flexibility, more flexibility than we've had in the last 4 or 5 years, that's when you want to get rid of our best player. Now let's look at him now. He's the assist leader for the league. Let's look at him. He shows up every game. You in the time when you have players that's doing load management, you got Trae Young come in and play hurt every game, unless it's a severe injury, and he wants to win. That's the other thing. He wants to win.
So
And you want to
what
take
happens
that.
if he walks then? So what happens if he doesn't sign the contract?
Hey, you take the chance. You take the chance with that. You take the chance.
Yeah.
With that.
Okay,
You gotta
but
take the chance with that because he's our star. Because just like Rick said, okay, let's run it down then. We trade him to Orlando, Mark. This is for Mark. We trade him to Orlando. We get back Anthony Black, picks, Isaac, and
but if he
some other
walks,
players,
we get nothing.
no star.
If he walks, we
They
get
give
nothing.
us 4 or 5 picks. Now think about it. You got Trae Young with Paolo Banchero and Wagner in the East. They are going to go to the finals.
The
No,
finals?
not the
They're gonna go
finals.
to the finals. That team will go to the finals because now you got Trae paired up with 2 possible All-Stars. Well, 1 All-Star we know, and another multi-time All-Star to come. They're going to the finals in the
I don't
East.
think so.
They will go to the finals because they'll be the strongest team in the East. And what will those picks look like? Those picks will look like number 29, number 28, regardless of what year they are. They will be 28 and 29, and we'll be sitting here, and we've never been good at drafting players after even in the first round. We've never been good at picking players. Look at our picks. Look at our picks. Think about
We got Bam at I think 27 or 28. You know, we
that's
got him
y'all.
pretty high.
That's y'all. We got we got AJ.
What I
Griffin.
said.
We got Buffkin. Think
But
about
see,
our
but see, Marion, and that's why you heard me during the season. And if you've been on this channel, you heard me say it all the time. That's why the development of Mo Gay is so important, and Jurassic is important because what the homeboy Bam up there just said, they can get dudes in the 20s because Miami has a developmental system that they stick with. We never really had a consistent developmental system. You had something under Bud. Remember they had the Hawks University, but when Bud left, that left. So now we'll give whoever came up with the idea, Landry, Corver, or Quinn, whoever came up with the developmental process that we're doing now, I like it. Because now I'm not scared of drafting in the 20s.
Well, hold on, Kool-Aid.
I know we can develop players, but what are your chances of finding a star player in the late 20s when you don't? And we don't even have a star player if you get rid of Trae Young. I mean, y'all can talk about this all you want, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Tony Ressler is not signing off on a Trae Young trade. I don't see how people don't even understand that.
You shouldn't.
Now let me ask a question. Let me ask a question to Bam, since he's our local Heat fan. How long have you been a Heat fan, Bam?
I've been a Heat. Dwayne Wade.
For what year?
So that was they drafted him. Then Shaq came. So that's 04.
Oh, great. So
I'm not that old, you know.
So in 2006, in 2005, y'all won the championship with Dwayne Wade and Shaq, right?
And Shaq and Morning, yeah.
Yeah. But right after that championship, y'all had about 4 or 5 years where y'all got put out the playoffs in the first round.
We had some bad years, yeah, even before that.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me finish. One of those years, y'all had a 15-win season, right? So
right,
4 or 5
Beasley,
years.
that was Beasley.
Yeah. So 4 or 5 years, y'all got put out the first round. When Shaq left, y'all had a 15-win season, right?
It happens, yeah.
And then after that, you had about 2 more first-round putouts, right?
First, second round, yeah, we weren't the greatest
Okay,
team.
so in those times when y'all was getting put out of the first round without Shaq, did anybody say, Dwayne Wade might not be that guy? We need to trade him. Did anybody say that?
Oh, so long ago.
You can't use Dwayne Wade.
No,
trade.
no one
Dwayne
said
Wade.
Wade.
No, because you know what, Marion? You know what,
Dwayne
Marion?
Wade had Shaq.
But Marion,
no one said
he's talking about
Wade.
before Shaq got there.
But remember,
No one said that.
No.
I never heard that.
He's talking about the years between when
No, I never heard
the
that.
championship between when they got LeBron and Chris Bosh.
No, I never heard trade Dwayne Wade.
Listen, Dwayne Wade was already a champion.
Exactly, but look, Damon. He was a champion because he had another championship piece with him.
But
when he didn't have championship pieces,
Marion, he did carry.
He carried the Heat in the playoffs, and they told Shaq, "Hey, this his team," and that's what Shaq was like.
Because in the playoffs, the second score,
we also lost to Dallas.
Listen, Marion.
Then we had to make it LeBron's team.
Marion, the second player that outside of Dwayne Wade, Shaq only averaged 15 points. Dwayne Wade averaged 36 in the playoffs.
When you compare the Hawks,
But I understand that. I understand it's Shaq. I get that.
We got Trae Young and Niang, and y'all
cannot take out the fact that those
organizations that you y'all think that's
those organizations.
All I'm saying is that let's bring in a championship player.
Those organizations are champions. You gotta always factor
but
that
I'm telling
in.
you, we never said Dwayne.
Yeah.
D Wade was a champion. I think D Wade won Finals MVP.
Finals MVP.
Yeah.
He averaged 30.
Yeah. And another thing too.
When they won the championship,
So when the Heat have a bad season, you can't use Trae and Wade. Wade is a Finals MVP. Trae ain't won shit.
Trae won shit because Trae never had a shot. Give Trae a shot, he'll win something.
I don't know why people want to move on from Trae when we all know what the problem is. They ain't put nobody with him. What makes you think if you trade Trae Young?
We saying the same thing.
What makes people think
saying the same
all
thing,
those people who want to trade Trae Young? What makes you think when you get rid of Trae that they gonna go get some star player? They ain't never showed you that.
Hey, you and Marion are saying the same thing, Devon. You and Marion are saying the same thing. Y'all on 75. Look, hey, y'all on 75 and 85. Both of y'all going through town. Y'all going through town together.
John, listen what I'm saying, though, man. Listen. We are not a championship organization.
Yes, sir. You're right.
Don't compare us to champions. Compare us to the Clippers.
So everyone should be available then. If we're not a championship,
exactly, everyone should be available.
No.
Look,
I can't do that.
Hey, Mark.
I love Trae, but he is tradable.
Hey, Mark.
I don't want Willie the Wino out there. No, I can't do that one.
Hold up, because I always say this on this show. For me, I'll trade anybody, but I'm not trading just to do a fucking trade.
Cheers, John.
Trae Young right now. I need this.
Hey,
it's just me. I'm not trading Trae Young for bullshit. Period. I don't.
All I gotta say, he should treat, man.
I don't get it. Y'all want to trade the nigga for some bullshit? We already got bullshit.
And you right. Yeah. No, I ain't trading. I ain't trading for no jump. I ain't trading for no jump. I ain't trading for no jump. We just did that 2 times this year. We just did that 2 times this year.
Hey, Mark, you have an example on how to win with Trae Young. Why in the hell?
4 years ago.
Listen to me, though. Why hasn't Landry Fields or whoever is making the decisions just say, let's go back and look what made a Trae Young team successful? Let's mirror that. Can we do that? Why do we have a coach to run 5 out when we one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league.
Demond,
And then when
I
you lose
agree.
the game, you know what his response is? Hey, we didn't shoot 43s. What the fuck?
We didn't have a backup point guard, so I agree. It's been poor management, poor ownership.
It's not the backup point guard, Mark. It's the surrounding cast. No matter who you put out, you are at a deficiency. No matter who was on the floor.
Can I say something right quick? I want
Go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Go ahead.
Let me say something. I already made my mind. I'm not arguing with these guys who talking about get rid of Trae Young because the ownership and Trae Young had already came. It's just a waste of their time because the ownership and Trae Young had already came to the decision that he wasn't going anywhere. Now, as for Landry had got a chance. The reason Landry got fired, let me tell you why Landry got fired.
Hey, real quick, Kool-Aid. Hey, Foot, you got it?
I'll
take my ass back to work.
Go ahead.
Hey, you got it? Because I got to go back to work. I'm supposed to be working right now.
Yeah. Let me say this right quick.
I'm to talk to y'all and work on my computer.
Let me say this right quick before I go. I got to go to work too.
Quick
I just want to say this right quick. Can I say this right quick? I got to give me 2 minutes.
Hey.
I wish I had a computer, John.
Y'all let Kool-Aid talk real quick. Because Kool-Aid's got to go to work.
Hey, real
I
quick.
wish I had a computer job.
Hey, you got to be smart, John. You got to be smart.
No, gotta have the technology. We didn't have the technology back then.
Go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Let me say this right quick.
Hold on, Kool-Aid. Then you can go. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Shout out to everybody who tapped in. Shout out Brycey, Bam, Mark, John, Foot, Kool-Aid, Ryan, Rick, Shishi, everybody else who came on the panel. My bad. Everybody in the chat, hit that like button. I got to go to work. Foot got it. Hey, salute to everybody, man. Go Hawks. We got to keep Trae Young, man.
Okay, go ahead, Kool-Aid. Okay, like I said, the owners and Trae ain't arguing with none of those guys. But the reason Landry got fired, he had 3 years to try to get draft picks, and he got fired because none of his draft picks are part of the starting 5. And Roland talks about that. When you got a manager and he go draft in the next within his 3 years, and he don't draft a starter or a player that's gonna be on the bench or a role player to go with your star, and then they not winning. He had 3 years to do it. Look at all his draft picks. Look at all his moves. None of them is part of the other team right now. None of them. So Landry. So from what I'm hearing within the ownership and everything what's going on, they just was not going to trust with them getting all their picks back from that DJ Murray mess up. They decided not to go with Landry this year and making the picks and the moves this year to start the process of building around Trae Young or who they gonna bring in to play with Trae Young in the moves they was gonna make. Landry showed that he didn't have the ability to do that. So none of his look at the team. None of his draft picks are playing. None of them. And so when you got that period of time for a manager and you don't have not one player playing off the bench, putting in progress to helping the team win, that's a bad manager. And that's why they ain't gonna trust. They just not gonna trust him in the shopping for the groceries going into 2025 because his history is gone. And Quinn got 1 more year. They give within this organization, they give everybody 3 years to win. If they win, they get another 3 years. That's why Travis got fired, because they give him 3 years. They didn't win after 3 years. Nate didn't win after 3 years. Landry didn't win after 3 years, and Quinn got 1 more year. If he don't win with this new group or this new people coming in, he gonna get fired. So that's how the organization set up, and that's why Landry got fired. He couldn't shop. Like I said, go get some mutants. Stop drafting these first time these people that got to be processed and be you know what they always say, what the word is, John? But we say don't bring in them players that got to be what? Developed? No.
Develop.
Cause you know what? Cause when Travis drafted, I don't care what part of the draft, he drafted starters. And his young players were starters, and then he built the bench behind his starters. And those players that he drafted, like Red Velvet, Hunter, even Cam himself, Collins, all them guys like that, they were players. They were players off the bat, and they played. Red Velvet was a starter off the bat. That's how it went down. So
can I ask y'all a question?
Landry didn't have the ability to do that.
Let me ask y'all a question, legitimate question. Why all this? Continue to hear pair somebody with Trey, bring somebody to Trey, bring Trey some help, get another superstar with Trey, all this stuff. This ain't shit against Trey. Why aren't we talking about pairing somebody with JJ? Why aren't we talking about pairing somebody with Zach? Why aren't we talking about pairing somebody with all other guys? Right? Because y'all keep talking about just Trey Young. We have a team.
Mr. Speaker, can I answer your question, sir?
Yeah, let me finish. I came on. Demond talked too damn long, so I had to go do what I did do. I still listen. He ran. But what I'm saying, man, we need to start looking at the Hawks as a team, not one player. That's what this fan base, that's what this Twitter space, Twitter groups, Hawks home court, all this other shit. It's about arguing constantly, daily about one damn player, not the team and the team's success. Why don't we start talking about the team and the young pieces we had to build on? If Trey Young is part of that, then so be it. And see, that's what we really need to stop talking about. Stop hedging on this and that, and this. Talk about the whole basketball thing. This is the Hawks team, not the Trey Young team, right? It's obvious that can't nobody do it by themselves. So when people talk about other stuff, it ain't got shit to do with, oh, y'all want Trey to do it by himself. He can't do it. No, it's a team. It takes 5 dudes on the floor in sync to make it to win a basketball game, right? I'm gonna let you go, John. Let me just finish my little rant real quick. I've been listening all damn day with this shit. Let's talk the Hawks and the team and what it's gonna take. Stop talking about what other. There's a lot of. Well, LeBron got this. This the Hawks. It's not Lakers. LeBron. You can't emulate what other folks do because there are different players in different time periods of their game. So we take the young core, athletic core we got. Even with Trey Young, if we run the damn flow, ain't nobody stopping us. We get out.
Why don't you guys go get a player like Kawhi or Jimmy? Just get that.
They're not coming.
Yeah, but again, but see, it's not about why not go get a player who want to come here. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. They not coming.
You look at the money or whatever right now.
Trade for Kawhi.
Get in the bed.
The Hawks.
Now,
don't nobody want to come participate in this clown show until they get their shit fixed. They fucked up years ago with this whole Lil Nicky, listen to a player and pushing his thing. That's on the organization.
I know, but you can trade. You can trade for Kawhi Leonard.
No, you can't. Well, no, Kawhi ain't going nowhere.
But at the end of the day, why you want to keep
an example.
No,
Jimmy Butler.
Kawhi. Why would Kawhi come here?
You trade for him. He doesn't have a choice.
They want to be winners. They want
he'll buy his contract
out. Career.
Retire.
They want to be. They want to be with winners. They're not coming here. Jimmy Butler wants to come here.
But you need someone like that to win a championship.
Get
to the finals.
It'll change the order. I know you ain't come to this bullshit. Because it's dysfunctional. So again,
because he just like when Dominique Wilkins was traded from here to the Clippers, as soon as he could get the hell away, he left. He don't want to be there. And now I'm going to say something in response to what Foot was saying. Now, Foot, as accurately or inaccurately as you put it about, why are we talking about get somebody with Trey or get somebody with this person and, Trey being the focal point of the team. Every team ever since the day that I first started playing basketball or paying attention to basketball had a focal player.
Hold on, Jordan. I'm glad you said. I want to challenge you because what I continue to hear. Well, ain't nobody won without this. Ain't nobody won constructed like this. Ain't nobody did this or that, which is facts, right? But that because it's fact don't mean it can't happen no other way. Y'all got to stop with this. What somebody did and how it was done. Especially in today's soft ass age of basketball, because shit soft as hell. You can't stop going with what was done and who was done. Chart your own path. See, here's one thing, man. The way I coach, I don't give a damn what the other team doing. If we execute what we doing, that shit don't matter. That's what I continue to say about the Hawks team. The Hawks have, and Trae Young said himself, the shit I've been saying, that everybody been on me about, Trae Young came out and said, we had enough talent to compete. I've been saying that shit for how many years now? He said it himself. So anybody keep challenging me about that bullshit, he said it himself. We have enough talent to compete, even with the injury. If we compete and execute, because we got enough guys, this weak ass East, we have enough with whoever hurt, JJ, I don't give a damn. We had enough bodies, enough talent to compete in this weak ass East where we won't have to be in the play. That's my feelings about basketball. We can't hear you,
okay.
man.
Okay. I understand that 100%. But there's a word that you didn't use. You said you got enough talent to compete.
Yes.
But do you have enough talent to win?
Not a championship. I said not this year. I already said
that's what I'm talking about. To win. To win. No. Hey. Foot. And see, this is just like a mosquito on a fat man. I don't know where to start biting on this one.
Go ahead.
Okay. Because the thing is about this is that there are so many freaking problems with this situation right now. From the head of the snake all the way down to the doggone back end of the snake. The ownership, these people, and you know, that's why I was asking Brycey those questions about what he was thinking about, what was going on. Because see, these people, look, Foot, you know, I've said it many times. You got two types of owners. You got an owner that knows about basketball, and then you have an owner that's just like the one we got here now. Well, I bought it for the kids. You know, here, take this shiny new Tonka dump truck here. Go out in the yard.
No basketball. They
you know, it depends. It
no,
depends.
they don't. Unless you played or been involved in
come
in and invest.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Foot. That's what I'm saying, Foot. See, the thing is about it, we have an owner, and I'm just going to deal with that side of the ledger. We have an owner that knows absolutely nothing about basketball. Okay, what you are supposed to do, turn it over to somebody who does. But no, we do the nepotism thing. This has cost you. Now it's
biting. We should stop with this nepotism bullshit.
It is nepotism. I'm sorry. No, Foot. I can't yield on this one. I can't yield on this one.
Money. They gonna.
I can't yield on this one. Hold up, Foot. Foot.
What
about Grant Hill?
Foot. I didn't say it didn't exist. I'm saying this is what it is. And what
until today, Mark, I totally forgot Grant Hill was the owner.
Yeah,
and
see what it is.
That is true. Grant Hill is the owner on this
what
team.
We got right now, because see, whether Grant Hill is a part owner or not, that man stuck his son into the very wheelhouse of the workings of the basketball team as far as drafting, determining the direction, and the man doesn't know anything about basketball. So now, hold on. Now it has come to bite us in the behind, because that move that they made for DeJounte Murray has put us where we are now. That stupid move where you had someone who had helped build a championship, you stabbed him in the back and ran him off the plantation. Okay, and now the kids took over. When the kids took over, they went looking, they went to the grocery store looking for some toothpaste and brought back some Preparation H and wanted you to start brushing your teeth with it. That's what they did. And that's where you are now because of that stupid move that father let go by. Son, you run it. Son, and drug Landry Fields along with it. Because there's an article back in 2023 that was written about when this happened and how this happened. Everybody now knows the story. Now, this is why the Atlanta Hawks are the laughing stock of the NBA, because
you guys are better
than
the Suns. You're not that bad. The Suns are worse.
Yes, you are.
No.
We know. Now, Brycey, Now, now, Bryson, what do we look like on the national stage? If you have that type of information, what does Hawks ownership and this team look like on the national stage?
Hey, you don't have to say anything. That face does everything right there. Just a chuckle.
I mean, national shows their ass every time they talk about us on the national stage in terms of getting players that are wrong, that are still not on the roster anymore, or not knowing certain things about the team and things like that. But before I continue to answer your question, I do have an update I do want to share with you guys. Just
okay, let's go.
I've been on social. So this comes from the Stein line, Mark Stein. He tweeted out in the latest with the Hawks stuff. He said the owner has indicated that he's willing to pay the top going rate for a top-tier experienced league decision maker to manage the Hawks' hopes for gradually taking their promising young core to legitimate Eastern Conference contention. Bob Myers has been mentioned, but they are not sure that he would want to move away from the West Coast. They've also said that Minnesota Timberwolves GM has also been a name to watch because he's an opt-out option after this season. So, didn't know if anybody had any response to that. Any thoughts on that?
Oh, no. Answer the question first. Answer my question about our national pick, what we look like. What do we look like?
The national media is not going to respect the Hawks. Regardless of they win or not, they're going to respect the Hawks just because they don't have the history, the branding, all of those things. And so that's why everybody's always like, if we have any type of significance like Trae Young, because they can market Trae Young. But you notice every time everybody be saying, oh, Trae. Even though there's no rumors, Trae don't say nothing. You'll hear people be like, oh, yeah, they need to move him just because. You know, why
talking about you, Foot?
So I'm standing on mine.
I was just talking. I was these.
I gave you the reason.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Well, hey, I know why Foot says what he's saying. I understand that.
Come on.
Roger, you finished? Because we'll go around and answer his question. Your question was, what do we think about what you just read, right?
Yeah.
I'm going when we go around. Here's what I think. I don't buy into any reports unless it's quoted, right? Because we can speculate all day what's going to happen, what's in the word, just like you said, out there trade. Again, it's all speculation. So for me, I don't buy it. Okay, let me see when the rubber meets the road, because people say anything, the media say anything, people say anything, unless a player or organization have something or reporter have something in quotes, hey, just wait for whatever happened to happen. That's how I feel about it. I really don't care what folks be saying, just what happens. Go ahead, John.
Two Live Stews long time ago said that the Source Brothers, are here, unnamed, reliable, and alleged. Because see, a lot of times people don't want to go on record as to having said anything because, hey man, you said no, I didn't, you know, and want to beg off from it. And I understand what Bryson was saying as far as, you know, these sources and whatever talking, but see, right now I got to go along with Foot. I got to go along with Foot. I've listened to it and I put it in my little mental Rolodex for future reference. And once the person comes out or once something more reliable comes out, I'll match it up and then I'll disseminate. But, you know, Mark.
Hey, I feel the same way. But at the same time, it makes sense. I mean, we're having that same pivotal summer that we had a couple years ago when we lost to Miami. And Trae Young couldn't get across half court. And what do? They
again. This is multiple times though, Trae Young. That's what I keep saying.
Hey, Mark. I mean, let me finish first. Let me finish. Then I'm gonna let you go. Let Mark finish. Go ahead.
You know, we had a pivotal summer again. Trae Young couldn't get past half court. So what do? We make the DeJounte trade. And so I think we're gonna do something aggressive this summer. And I just think it makes sense. And if it's me, hey, I want Bob Myers because of his experience, his connections, and then again, just, you know, what you would think is his ability to bring in, you know, winning players. So I hope Bob Myers gets a blank check, man. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Bam.
All right, Bam.
Trading the player. I mean, look, we had to lose Jimmy Butler. The Raptors had to give up Lowry. the Suns might have to give up Durant. You know, maybe it has to happen one way or another. You know what I mean? Maybe Trae Young has to go for the better. It happens to everyone. DeRozan had to go. And the Raptors, they traded for Kawhi Leonard and they win a title. Maybe rebuilding. Look at the Kings. They're like Zach LaVine. And you don't want to be in that situation either. And you don't have to go to Orlando. Maybe someone else will
We are
want Trae
worse. We are worse.
Let me finish, John.
I'm just saying,
sorry.
look
I
what
thought it
happened
was
to
you.
us. We had to give up Jimmy Butler. We just made the finals 2 years ago. We lost. And he wanted to go. Dwayne Wade, we had to get rid of him. LeBron left. So Trae Young leaving, it happens. It's a business, you know. Maybe you could get a good player, a starter for Trae Young. It doesn't have to be Orlando. Because your buddy said it, I think it was Mark, he can't get by half court, and this is the second time he couldn't get by half court. Mitchell exploited him in overtime. He couldn't stop Mitchell.
I mean, there is some truth to what he's saying.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, of course
Hey,
it
man,
is, Mark.
he ain't got no skin in the game. He said the same shit we be saying.
And he's not. The league doesn't like him that much. You know, they don't like him. They have some animosity toward him. I don't know why.
So, Bam.
How long let
you going around? Y'all going around? Yeah.
And Mark even
I'm
said
sorry.
it. Your fan base said it's time to trade Trae Young, and I agree with him. I agree with him.
Mary don't agree with you though.
I'm about to say, trust me, I am not the voice of the fan base because I think majority of the fan base. Ooh, actually,
You
I don't
guys
know.
are going to be 10th again next year,
ahead,
or
man.
9.
Let finish so we get right.
And do you guys want to be in the play-in all the time? Or do you want to maybe get
No.
the number 1 overall pick like us? I don't want to give Hero $220 million.
Yeah.
So we might have to let Hero go.
I mean, that's the
It's
right
the
question.
circle of life.
No, yeah.
Circle of
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
I'm on. Hey,
Wow.
hey.
Hold on. Hey, you finish, Bam? Go ahead, Ryan.
I mean, shoot, hard to follow Bam after that.
Answer Bryce's question.
Yeah. Obviously,
Do we
George.
have to give up Jimmy Butler? And Jimmy Butler's better than Trae Young.
I mean, obviously, George, or not George. I don't know where George came from. Bob Meyer is probably the most, probably will be the most sought after, and probably the most looked at. I mean, Minnesota. The Minnesota guy. I think right now Minnesota is like hot garbage. And what I mean by that is like they look good, but you saw the struggles with Julius Randle. You kind of saw the struggles with Anthony Edwards. You kind of see, how far they can go with Rudy Gobert and with Naz Reid. So I mean, I'm getting to my point. Okay.
Are you asking Bryce's question? That's what we
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying who I prefer. But yeah, I'd say probably Bob would probably be the best. I mean, both of them would probably be a significant improvement from what we have because since Travis, we haven't had, I mean, it's just been Landry, but we haven't had that experienced guy that can like say, hey, I know the system. I know how to make the moves. I know how to make the right deals. We just need somebody who has the cojones enough to stand up to Tony Ressler and be like, listen, stay out of my office. Let me do my job, what you paid me to do.
Exactly.
But
I don't think that's going to happen though for you guys.
No, yeah, I
think even if you get him, I think your owner's still going to step his boundaries and interfere all the time.
For sure.
It's going to be the same thing. He's not going to work out because your owner. You have a bad owner.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, Bam. Because like I saw something when I don't know if you guys follow NBA Trade Center on Instagram, but they posted something about I think a day after when Landry got fired. He's like, they said Tony Ressler is one of the most underrated, crappy owners in the league that nobody really talks about because it's not really publicized. all of his puppeteering. But I'll cut it short here and I'll let Marion finish. But yeah, I would take Bob Myers in a heartbeat. But go ahead, Marion.
Yeah, I'll just echo what you were saying in terms of Bob Myers. I would take Bob Myers in a heartbeat. We need somebody who has juice, if you want to call it that. We need somebody who has the ability to get trades done, who got connections. That's why we can't bring some first timer to the floor.
Yes.
Please don't bring the guy from Minnesota if he was the one that did all of those trades that they've done recently, because I think that he was the starting point for us giving up all those picks for DeJounte Murray, because in that same offseason they gave up 5 picks for Gobert. So I don't want that guy if that guy's applying for the position. But Bob Myers is somebody who's always made sensible. He's always made sensible deals. He's familiar with C-Law. I don't think the C-Law is going to be a GM, to be honest, not long, because from what I understand, he's a numbers guy. So he's always been, he knows C-Law. So I think it's something that he can work with and move him into the right place in the organization. In terms of some of this other stuff, I think that in order to understand our position, you need to understand our history. And if you don't understand our history, then just making blanket statements about what we should do makes absolutely no sense. Our history is that we've never been able to get a good trade done because we've never really had GMs that had the juice to get it done right. We've never been able to draw in free agents. Because
we are the franchise that traded Bill Russell.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, that's way back. That was before we was in Atlanta. I'm talking about as the and after Neek. We can talk about Neek and after Neek. We've been poor at bringing in free agents. So all this other stuff about what other teams do, as John has been saying, they have good organizational setups. Their organization has a hierarchy that works. We don't really have that right now, and that's what we are in need of. And it's good that Wrestler has seen that. Now, as far as will Wrestler overstep, I hope not. I don't even know who the owner of the Heat are. I know Pat Riley. That's the name I hear when you hear the Heat. I don't know who owns the Heat. I hear Pat Riley. And by that same token, when he was in Golden State, I didn't know who owned Golden State. I heard Bob Myers. So we need somebody who's going to be able to be, in essence, the face of our organization, who has enough juice, who has enough connections to make good things happen, because we've never really had that. Even when we had Travis, I think the last person that we had that had something similar was Danny Ferry. And Danny Ferry had that as a GM on the back of the fact that he had all those connections with San Antonio. So it would be good for us to get somebody who actually has some ability to get trades done, because I'm tired of us trading for people who are out of their prime, or people who don't even have a prime to come. We need to get somebody who knows what they're doing.
Our owner is all about cruise. He owns the Carnival Cruise Line, right? He doesn't know much about basketball.
Pat
He's
Riley,
still an okay owner.
Pat Riley. When I hear Miami Heat, I think Pat Riley.
Yeah, but Mikey's our owner, and he's big with Carnival. He runs cruise ships.
So, and that's what he knows how to do: run a cruise ship, put gas in the boat,
and
get the boat off the dock, and take them folk out there, show them a good time, and bring them back.
And that's why we have
now the
Spoelstra
basketball,
and Pat Riley, and he doesn't barge in, and that's
right. He hired. You're absolutely right, Bam. Well, you know more about your franchise than I do. But see, the thing is, his point, Marion's point, is the face of the franchise is Pat Riley, and then might be Alonzo Mourning as a second banana. That's all you see. All right. Now, as far we see Tony Rustler, all right.
What's he known for?
Flag surfing.
You putting your hands, you all in the kitchen. They trying to make a chocolate cake. You putting dirt in it because it's black. That ain't the way you make no damn cake, boy. Get out of the kitchen. let the people who know how to make cakes, and you get out there and you sit your happy ass down there at the dinner table and eat it once the professional cook gets through cooking it. See, that's what's his that and see, and I know Marion, you and Foot, you remember Stan Kasten around here with the Atlanta Hawks? Ted Turner need to take a 2x and give him a wood shampoo all across the top of the head for all of the stupid mess that he was doing, because we've been down this road before. We've been down this road before.
That was Babcock needed 2x.
No. Stan Kasten too. Stan Kasten too. Well, wait a minute. Let me call some names out to you. Rumia Robinson, Ed Gray.
Yeah.
What was that other one, Foot? The one that bought a brand new Mercedes and took the back seat out and put a 25-inch speaker in the back.
What about Roy Marble, the next Jordan?
No, it was Chris Washburn.
There we go.
Chris Washburn.
You know, Chris?
These jokers were just drafting junk. Didn't have no idea what they were doing. And when they traded Dominique Wilkins, I cussed Stan Kasten out personally on the radio behind that. Man. I cussed him out personally on the radio behind that because he was trying to say Dominique was washed up.
We were number one in the East.
That's your greatest player.
We had beat
He's
Houston
better than Trae Young
twice.
Man, we look. It was us in Houston, Foot. It was us in Houston. We would have met Houston in the finals.
Wow. We had just beat Houston too.
Yeah. Both of us had 15-game winning streaks. We broke their winning streak on their floor. They broke our winning streak on our floor. It was the Hawks in Houston. I mean, man, I'm trying to tell you. See, we have. I see, and the thing was, Ted Turner just picked the wrong person. Because guess what? Ted Turner stayed out the way. Ted Turner stayed out the way. The only time he got in the way was that time that he managed the Braves and Bowie Q suspended the snot out of him when he did it. Because he was desperate to win.
He was desperate to win. I got to get ready to go to practice, man. Get everybody to go around the table with their final words. What you got, John?
Gentlemen, I'm just gonna say this. And thanks, Bryson, because I just wanted to know something from an outside perspective as to what was going on. But man, we tore up from the floor up. Right now, we tore up from the floor up. And they are definitely going to have to hire a president that, got to tell the owner, hands off. Get out the way, man. Stay out the way. I'm going to put whoever it is I'm going to put as general manager, whatever, and assemble my staff. You give me 5 years, whatever it is, let me do my job. And I'm promising you, I'm going to give you everything that I got to give you what it is that you want. Okay. All you got to do is sign the checks when I bring them to you. All right. Sign these checks. Get me these folk. Get out the way. And tell your son, if you want to learn how to become an NBA manager, go someplace else, because you did have him shadowing the previous general manager, but you were shadowing him trying to find out a good opportunity to put the knife in his back. That's all this ended up being. Next time he go to a dark part of the room, we'll get him then. Him and Landry Field, both of them. So to eliminate that, hire this man. And I'm not sure that this firm knows what they're doing, because firms. I'm basketball, like Foot always says, and sports is a field, and you got to know what you're feeling. You know what to feel for in order to do the right thing, because you have to do certain things from experience and your gut. Might be right, might be wrong, but the analytics aren't always right either, because sometimes those analytics will get you in more trouble than anything else. That's all I got.
All right, appreciate that. What you got, Mark? Long time no see.
Right, man. Always good to see you, man. Good to see everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat, man. But yeah, I mean, it's a big off season, so I'm excited to see what we do. This is a turning point for the franchise, so like I said, I'm excited. You know, I keep telling people it's not about trading Trae Young. I don't think it's like his fault. I just feel like Trae Young brings us the most value, so that's why I always consider moving him, because I mean, he should bring back the most. But like I said, man, definitely appreciate everybody. I'm looking forward to the next time to chop it up with everybody. And shout out to Bam, man. We got a Miami Heat fan in here, and they just beat us, and he ain't even in here talking crazy, man. So we appreciate you, bro.
Real fan.
Okay, my turn. I'm going to leave it with what you said. We beat you guys again, and Trae Young couldn't get past half court. I think it's time for you guys to trade him and get some value and go for the number 1 overall pick. Or a number 2 overall pick and reset it. He's not a good defender. You guys got blown out in Orlando. Then you got blown out in Miami.
We didn't get blown out, but...
Well, not blown out, but the ending was rough. Don Mitchell looked like the best player in overtime. And
I mean, he did.
I just want to know.
I mean,
what happens if you guys are the 9th seed or the 8th seed again next year?
Man, I'm glad we got some people that ain't got nothing to do with the Hawks on here.
But
I'm just going to leave it at that.
No, yeah.
Get past half court twice. That's what Mark said, and I'm going to leave it twice.
Yeah.
Don't go nowhere just yet.
Couldn't that have been solved with a simple strategy change?
Go ahead, Ryan. Come on,
your words.
Golly, Bam's always one upping me, man. I mean, it's interesting times to be a Hawks fan right now. Shoot, I would love for us to get the number 2 overall pick and draft Dylan Harper. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, I think Brycey, if I'm not mistaken, Defensive Player of the Year and Most Improved Player get announced tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think both of them.
So, I mean, hopefully Dyson wins at least Most Improved. It'd be great for a defensive player, but I mean, there's going to be a lot of turnover. I'm excited to see who we bring in and what their plans and what their goals are. And hopefully we won't be in this position next year, and hopefully compete for at least one playoff round win. But that's all I got. Go ahead, Marion.
Well, what I'll say is that it's going to be an interesting offseason. We got money. We got flexibility. We got players. We got picks. So it should be interesting for us to see what we're going to do. And we're making changes to the organization. So it's going to be interesting to see what we're going to look like at the end of this. I don't think that there's anybody who got a great crystal ball who can tell you exactly what's going to happen. And actually, until we get a president of basketball operations in place, nobody knows what's going to happen. Because once that person comes in, I expect that they're going to make their own decisions as far as what they want. I hope that we get somebody in that position who has some juice, some connections, who's able to make deals and hopefully change the culture, because that's what we need more than any of this other stuff that we talk about. We need a cultural change, and what that looks like, we don't know, but we shall see.
That's what's up, man. All right, Brycey. Hey, Bam and Mark, y'all stay on till I make y'all come back up, please. Before I go ahead, Brycey.
Yeah, so obviously, like I said, big offseason coming up. We'll have to see how things go. Major decisions will be made, and we'll see how this team transforms over this offseason, obviously starting with the lead decision maker and then going into the roster as well. So, I look forward to kind of seeing what the plan is. I look forward to seeing how they continue to, like I said, fill out the roster. They have some guys they got to make decisions on. moves that are there to be made with the financial flexibility that we have at our disposal, and just putting it, like I said, all together. And then, you know, you get into next season, and then, like I said, next year we know it's the year that they got to win games. So I mean, that's just as simple as it gets. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But appreciate you guys letting me come on to the panel and talk with y'all.
Yeah, hold on.
Hey, Foot, let me say, can I say one quick thing? One quick thing. Bam. Next year, after we get our stuff together, I want you to have that same energy when you come back after we beat y'all. I want you to be right here when we put the boots to you. I want you to come on right back, and we're gonna talk about it because, sir, we're on the way up, and it looks like y'all are on the way down.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, get his ass.
Damn.
Hey, real quick, hey man, like I said, this year went exactly how I wanted. I knew how I felt it was gonna go. Let me say that, because I wasn't predicting this. Just looking at everything. That's why I started the year this to watch. But Marion, I'm gonna have to challenge you, man. That's why I took off my glasses. You challenged me up and down when I kept talking about before the break. I want our house to get flexible. You kept asking me what that meant, but you just, yes, you, Marion, you. So I find that strange because you challenged me several times on that. What I want to do when we was talking about, man, forget Brandon Ingram and all this other stuff. But anyway, like I said, man, I'm glad we have this different perspective of non-Hawks fans to share their thoughts and about basketball, and now you see it's just about basketball, man. We have to get better. As I always said, fuck them picks, trade them, because now with our young core, it's time to bring in some vets. You know, I don't care about drafting nowhere, whatever. I don't care about drafting nobody. I want to go ahead and use those picks, those assets to bring in other players who want to come here. And that's going to be a challenge. I said beginning of this year, we're rebuilding, and we ain't going to win. It's going to take about 3 years to compete like we should be competing. So this is year one. We got 2 more years. So I look forward to what's going to happen in the future. This whole Landry thing wasn't a surprise. He was just a puppet anyway because nobody else didn't want it. So I look forward to what's going to happen in the future and the success of his Hawks, no matter who's on the team. I just wish people stop talking about when somebody have an opinion, they're a hater. But hey, it's fun. I go with it. Shit, I'm having fun. But I'm looking forward to it, man. The Hawks going ahead, making the noise, get some more bodies in here with this young core. Let's see what we can do, man. But appreciate everybody coming on. Bam, Matt, Mark, Bryce, John, Ryan, and all the other people who I failed to mention. I was in the background because of waiting. You know, I had to do something about it. The bond kept running. But listen to the show, everybody perspective. I think everybody got something to put in it. The Blue, why don't you come on up here? You're always in the background talking. Come on up here. And
who is that?
You know our boy. You know it's all good. But I think we all shooting for the same thing. Mike, what you? Oh, you just listening, or you gonna come on?
Oh, I was just chilling, man.
Okay. But yeah, man, that's all I have to say, man. Go Hawks, man. Hey, the next two decisions the Hawks make gonna be critical. So,
and obviously we got the Dyson Daniels extension. Hey,
he extended?
Also, no, he's up for extension this year.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the mediocre player is going to win Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player. Anna is up for extension. Matt. Anyway, I'm done.
Man, whatever. Yeah.
Well, look, what not to be fair.
John, I got to go. I got to get.
Hey, Foot, go on. Take care of your business. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Go handle the young boy. Hey, man. By the way, man, I'm going here.
I ain't even ate breakfast yet.
Hey, we are 2 out of 3 on these tournaments.
Hey, when you retired, Brian, the time just.
All right, man. I appreciate the chat. Hey, man.
That's right. I'm going to the Waffle House right now.
All right. We'll holler at y'all.
I keep that shit on me. That shit on, yeah. I keep that shit on. The telephone racks for the drip on me. Keep that shit on. Blowing on the Zion, sipping lean. I keep that shit on. Bad bitches recognize me. I keep this shit on. I keep that shit on. I keep that shit on me.